So sorry, I've been gone a couple days. I've been not too well. I felt really worn down. I don't know, COVID must have given me like a relapse or something. I had just worn down energy. My body was hurting. I'm okay, I'm fine. I don't have any cough or any symptoms. I just needed to rest, and boy, I rested a lot. So sorry that I've been gone like 3 days, I think it's been. Did not intend it to be that way, but I needed to rest. And yesterday I did some gardening to feel better. So I got out and I grounded. I put my feet in the dirt. I planted some more flowers and just raked the leaves and kind of just, connected with the earth so I could feel better, so I wouldn't be so run down and just recharge my batteries. So that's what I was doing. So excuse the hands, a little dirty here. I was outside yesterday gardening, and I haven't had a chance to shower yet. It's terrible. But I just came in and went to bed. And I woke up late this morning. I rested, slept in till like 10:30. And just taking it easy, taking it easy so I can feel better. But I missed you, and I'm here, and we're going to do this reading, okay? All right, so I went through some of the comments, and there was a few people that said, Steph, can you do a video on how to stop patterns and why they keep happening? So I don't know how this video is going to come out, but I'm going to take their advice. There was a few people that were just really interested in knowing why they keep running into almost the same person. And I've had that talk before where we said, sometimes you go shopping down the grocery aisle for a different box of cereal, and there's all different flavors, so you think, and there's a bunch of different packages. There's Fruit Loops, there's Cocoa Pebbles, there's Lucky Charms, there's Corn Flakes, and you think you're gonna get what you ordered, but every time you open the box, Corn Flakes. And every time you go back shopping on that aisle, you bring home a new cereal and you find out it's the same thing inside. It's all Corn Flakes. Till you take a step back from the store and you realize the title on the store says different packages, but everything's Corn Flakes. And once you take a higher perspective and you step back and you realize all the people in your life are cookie cutters of the same people in a past life, or you keep recreating the same relationships with different people. We have to take that step back, be mindful, and look at, why is this happening? Why am I going through this pattern? Why have I dated this guy or this girl before? Why do they remind me of someone I've dated before? Why is it this is a new relationship, but 2 years later, I'm running into the same issues? And unless you've done it, 3 to 5 or more times, you don't really realize it's a pattern. But a lot of people realize it's a pattern. So it's good to recognize that in yourself. And if you've only been through it 1 or 2 times, it doesn't mean it's not a pattern. It just means you're staying stuck in the same pattern for longer periods. So we have to look at that. Today's reading, I guess, was inspired by that person, whoever commented. And we're going to take a look at what the cards have to say about your patterns. So we're going to do a reading first. We're going to pull out all the cards. And this is going to be for those people that feel like no matter what I do, I'm reliving my life. It's Groundhog Day. It's the same patterns. If that's you and you feel like, this is my life, it doesn't matter who I'm with or where I go or where I move or where I work or what I do, I feel like I'm around the same energy, then this is your reading. If that is not you, you're not resonating in that kind of a vibe right now, thank you for watching. It's entertaining, but it's not for you. So don't worry about, taking it on as your own reading, okay? Oh, we have Avika here. Let's see what you have to say. Hi, welcome. I've been in a pattern for almost 3 years with this person. Thank you for that statement, Vika. That's actually a really good message as well. Sometimes you'll be with one person and you guys go through cycles and it's the same pattern. Sumo, no. I'm so sorry. Let me get my dog out of here. He's a little bit wild and I've got some papers on the floor he can't mess with. Come on, Sima. Out. I know you want to be with me today, but it's not the time. Come on, over here. Sima. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, let's go ahead and get in. I'm going to be using this just to see where Spirit guides me. It's a little book with little messages. And I'm just going to see what the message is today. Spirit, please guide me and direct me with this book. Show me a message for those that need to hear this today on how to stop patterns. Let this be a message for them. Oh, shake things up. Well, isn't that obvious? Everyone's like, duh. I know if I want to be different, I have to change things. I have to shake things up. But this is very true. We have to do it. And it's easier said than done, I can assure you. And many people don't want to shake things up. Many people in patterns kind of like things where they are. They're comfortable. They know it well. They're secure. And that's kind of a message which we're going to get into later today about the south node of the moon, Ketu. And his message in your life is to shake things up. He wants to let go of things. He wants to change things drastically. He actually wants you to lose everything, but we're not going to do that. We need balance, but it's important to shake it up a bit. So that's a good message there today. All right, we're going to get into the cards. I'll pull some tarot. Spirit, please guide and direct me for those that are in cycles and patterns. What message can you give them today? Okay. We're going to go on a three energy, so that's going to work out well. Bottom of the deck is 4 of Pentacles, certainty. All right, certainty. Being stuck, being in a foundation, being in the mud. This is cement, you know. This is something that's not movable, hard like a rock. This is a certain thing. It's very good when you're talking about money. You want your money to be secure, certain, founded, cemented into your life. You want this card when doing a financial reading. But what about being stuck in cycles? Not so much. So the bottom line overall under all energy is getting out of your comfort zone, which I think many of you already know, but it doesn't hurt that it comes out in the reading just to show you yes. Give me a mindfulness card, please, for the collective, for those in a cycle needing to break free. Okay. So we have the fear card. Growth also wanted to come out. I might just put that on the bottom. Isn't that a beautiful oak tree? I love these cards. So we might have a fear, a secret fear of growth. Okay, fear of jumping, a fear of the Fool card, taking that leap of faith, believing in something that you can't see, feel, hear, taste, okay, touch, you know, reach out and grab. People just have a hard time believing in something they don't see, but that's part of growth. And that's part of that leap of faith. Let's see, what do you need to forgive yourself for? Spirit, please guide and direct me for the collective needing change. Use these cards to speak for you. Okay. This is the Self-Forgiveness Oracle deck by Love Your Ego edition, in case anyone's wondering where I get this awesome message from. Okay, whoop. Okay, so we're going to get a message from the hidden truth. What is the hidden truth between your stuckness? I dropped one. Ugh. Okay. We'll just do 3 of these. What is the hidden? Whoa, okay. Yep, I got 3. Okay, so this is going to be the hidden truth. Bottom of the deck, I wish things could be different. But wishes don't really happen unless we take action, you know? It's good to manifest and believe, but along with our manifestations comes the energy of I've got to take action. I can't just wish my way through life. I've got to do something about it in addition to my mindfulness, in addition to my mental state. Bottom of the deck is toxic. So for a lot of you guys, your cycles and patterns are toxic. They're not actually a good pattern. It's not like you're reaping money, 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 happy, happy, happy consistently. It's something toxic. It's giving you some of those, you know, those 7 deadly sins, the greed, the vanity, you know, being vain, overeating, laziness. I forget what the name of it is on the 7 deadly sins, but it's something around the energy of laziness. There's also another one of, what was it? Oh, shoot. You guys are going to have to remind me. I don't remember all of them. I really don't. Pride. Yep, pride and ego is the 7 deadly sin. Vain. Vanity. Okay, so then we had greed. Okay, so I've got 3 so far. Laziness, I forget the word. And I'm missing 3 more, but I can't think of it right now. All right, let's get another message. Oh, sloth, wrath, lust. Thank you. Yeah, sloth, wrath, lust. Can't talk today, seriously. Think about that. Lust, right? We lust after so many things, but mostly men and women. We lust after their bodies. We lust after those things. But some people lust after marriage. They lust after relationships. You know, we lust after money. You know, we just can't get enough. So that's something to think of also. And wrath. You know, sometimes we're just angry people, angry, bitter people, and we want to punish others. And we want to punish the world, and we just look for problems. There are people like that. They go out there on, you know, social media or in public, and they just look for people to pick on. They're like mental bullies. They may not confront them verbally or physically, but in their mind, they're a mental bully because they're out there judging. They're out there saying, she's not mothering right. He's not fathering right. That young man doesn't know how to drive worth a crap. This waiter doesn't know how to do their job. You know, it's just problems everywhere, criticizing. And I think that can be a little bit of wrath. You're taking it out on the world with a, you know, a shitty attitude. Excuse me for saying. Markers, thank you so much for posting this. Markers posted it, guys. Look up at the comments. Pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. There you go. There you go. And gluttony is obviously overeating. Envy is jealousy. That's a good one. Lust is always wanting more. Greed, can't ever get enough. Ego is pride. And sloth is laziness. So anyways, this reading is, you know, when we are repeating cycles, we are partaking in one of those seven deadly sins. Sorry I can't talk today, guys. I'm trying my best. Mercury retrograde, you guys know what's up. It's been like this for weeks for me already, but especially now. Spirit, please guide me. Okay. All right. Almost done pulling out the cards, guys, and then we're going to reveal the message. Okay, Spirit, give me an epiphany message for those that are in cycles. Okay. Bottom of the deck, caught in a web of lies. Sometimes we get caught up in our own lives, which can be full of lies. How are you doing today? Great. Actually, no, I'm not. My husband just left me, or I'm getting divorced, or my kid is failing in school, and we, you know, or my, you know, family member is diagnosed with cancer. You never know what's really going on, but when people say, hey, how are you? You just lie. Even if it's a little white lie, you know? We're not genuine. We're just not genuine. And to be honest, this web of lies is the World Wide Web also. We lie on social media. You know, we paint our families like, oh, this is a picture-perfect family. Look at my beautiful kids. National Daughter Day, National Son Day, National Fuckface Day, National every fucking day. Every day's a national fucking day. National Pie Day, National French Fry Day. Seriously? I think I'm tired of the national fuckery days, honestly. If I see another fuckery day, I'm going to lose my shit. But that's just me. That's just me. Anyways, this social media bullshit is driving me nuts. Because we all know it's not real. We all know it's a front. We all know we do it. We all know we want to make ourselves look better with filters and with this pose and that pose. If we actually took a fucking picture right now with like no filter and just in a shitty position, like right now looking at our face, staring at our phones, we'd look hella fucking ugly right now, to be honest. You know? But we're not doing that shit. But that's the real us. That's the real us most days. And we live in this web of lies, okay? So that's part of our own fuckery on why we're doing these freaking repeat cycles. Anyways, that's that message. I'll get another one. Let's see what's up and coming. What is up and coming? What you talking about, Willis? Oh, that is so funny. I love who just put that up there. Love you guys. Hey, sweetie. Okay, let's get an oracle for what is up and coming. Okay. All right, you guys ready for this reading? Let's do it. Let's do this the right way. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with... We're actually going to start with fear, okay? And the back of the message with fear, and I'll just hold this up so you can see what it is. Fear, particularly the fear of failure, is the main thing that holds us back in life. However, when we look logically at our fear and realize that setbacks are not the end of the world, but in fact, they can be used to drive our future success. We can free ourselves so we can start to face our challenges with a clear and confident attitude and strive freely towards becoming the best version of our best selves. We can say this little mantra to ourselves in our head at times where we're maybe a little bit fearful. And we say, I am fearless in the face of failure. I will not let fear prevent me from being my best self. Anytime you feel scared, fearful of anything, just say, nope, I am strong and I am fearless in the face of failure. Sometimes we don't think we're worthy enough of someone better. And that's just the honest truth, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to speak to those of you that know and resonate with that. Sometimes you know deep down, you just don't think you can do better. That's the honest truth. And guess what? That's not true. I know you hear it over and over again, but let me reiterate this. It's not true. It's not true. A lot of you guys think the world is so fictitious. People are just out there for looks. People are out there for what do you have to offer? And you feel like, what do I have to offer? I'm not doing great in the financial sector, or I don't look my best. I compare myself. I don't look like that person. You know, my family is a little screwed up. I don't think I'm worthy of someone like that you would perceive yourself as, you know, happy with. That's not true. They have families just like you, and no matter the little web of lies on the World Wide Web, it's not true. And you're telling yourself these falsities, these bullshit fuckeries that make you think you are not up to par for something that you want. And that is a mental setback. It is. It's a setback in your dreams. It's a setback in the momentum that you've been building and the manifesting of happiness, because you get to this place and you go, I can work under this position, but I can't have that position. Why not? Well, because I can get with somebody like this, but I could never be with somebody like that. Why not? I can only have a car like this, but I can never have a car like that. Why not? Listen, you're building your own barriers, Linda. Listen, Linda, you're building your own barriers. Your walls, your fences, your limits, and your glass ceilings, you're building them yourselves. You are capable, and I want you to stop thinking that. Stop doing that. Stop telling yourself that. Stop even doing any of those kinds of things. It's a mental state. And I know you're like, oh, Steph, please don't go into a long story. Listen, Linda. I'm not going to go into a long story, I promise. But I do want to share something with you because it's a fact. I had a specific lack mentality for many years of my life based on my family, based on what my family had. And I thought there was a limit in our family. I believed that our family only gets this far in life. And, you know, a person of my age, of my race, of my position, of having children, of whatever, and of my education, this is only as far as I'm going to possibly get. And I didn't tell myself that, but I felt that without speaking it, without thinking it. That's what I knew. And that's what I felt. And there's a very big difference, because a lot of people say, well, I don't tell myself those things. I don't say those things in my head. And, you know, I don't speak them. Okay. So why would this be a problem? Listen, it is a problem, because whether you think it or say it, you feel it. You feel it, and it becomes what we like to call a knowing. It's a knowing. And your body just vibrates with that vibration only, and it doesn't change until your feelings change. And so one time I was looking for a new job, and I was looking for the same old positions that I always get. I was like, oh, well, I know this really well. I'm really good at it. This is what I'm going to do. It was the same position. I guess to give you guys more detail, I was a really great sales agent, but I was really good at real estate, and I was really good at being a leasing consultant. You guys could probably imagine the way I talk to you. I can make friends and talk to others, and I can lease my little ass off. But I made shit happen for people. I changed lives. People that didn't think they could get into an apartment, I made sure I could get them into the apartment. If I had to call credit places for them and get things off and change their score so they can get in, I was that person. I was the person that would fight for people that wanted an apartment. And it wasn't just for the money. It was because I really wanted to help people get into a nice home. Most leasing agents wouldn't give a shit. You would come in and apply, and they're like, oh, you failed. your score is like 10 shy, so I guess, you know, you can't come here unless you have a cosigner, or you can try another place and they'll refer you somewhere else. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with situations like that, but I dealt with a lot of people like that. So I worked with credit repair and so on. I started not taking no for an answer, and I would call the places that would verify people. And all it would take was some talking. And I would say, listen, I have a client here that really needs this place, really wants to move in here. It's perfect for him. I see that the score is not where it needs to be. Listen, what can we do to get that score up in 48 hours? What can we do? Is there anything that we can do? Because there is no cosigner available. And they would look at it and they would say, well, in order to get, 10 more points, this person can pay off this, credit card bill or this cell phone debt or whatever, whatever the fuck's on there. And then they can get approved. We'll go ahead and update their credit and change the score. If you have a letter or proof that it's been paid or a receipt, we'll, as a company, go ahead and up the score. So I worked with people like that, and I would tell them, this is all you have to do. If you can afford $50, if you can afford $150 to get this off, you don't have to worry about a cosigner, and you don't have to worry about that stuff, and you can get approved and you can come in on your own. And they would be so happy, and people were in tears, thanking me that I was able to give them a beautiful home, and it felt really good. Because they had probably hit brick wall after brick wall. And, I would counsel them, but that's another story. But anyways, that's what I did, and I was very good at it. And I was the #1 in the city, and then I became #1 in our state for our company, which was a very big company across the country as far as property management. So I became a leader in sales, a leader in leasing, and, they would start to have people train under me. How do you do it? What are you doing? I had managers coming to me saying, how are you getting all these leases in 1 month? And how are you working with this company that we're doing credit checks with? How are you getting them through when they've been denied? And I said, it takes more than just taking no or yes for an answer. And that's just how I'm built. And a lot of you are built that way. But I want you to take that frame and make it your own in your life. When you start getting no's, don't just say, oh, well, it's a no. Fuck no, it's not a no. There's another way. Let's go to a higher authority. Let's go behind the curtains. Okay? Because if I just took no from the company and said, well, I'm just a little old meek little leasing agent and you applied and it's a no and I'm sorry, have a good day, I would not be going further. I would not know how things work. I like to know how things work. I do have some Aquarius placements, and that's probably why. I want to know how things function, how things operate, how things work. And once I learned how that system worked, I was able to manipulate it to make it work for other people. But it takes you and it takes someone to ask those questions, make those steps, and make those moves. So anyways, that's just an example. I hope that helps. But anyways, I did that very well, and I did it for years very, very well, and I was successful. But I was still just a leasing agent. I hadn't taken a step further. And you know what? I didn't think I could be a manager. I didn't think I had the skills, the education. There was also a mindset for me that you had to be older. I don't know. It's just the way things some people think. I was in my, mid-20s, and the managers were 35, 45, 55, 65. I was lucky if I saw a 35-year-old manager. Usually the managers were women, and usually they were over the age of 40. And usually they were over the age of 45. So it was pretty rare to see someone in their 30s, let alone someone in their 20s. They would think you're just a young little thing. You don't know shit. It was a lot of ageism. Doesn't matter how brilliant your mind was and how dedicated you were and how determined and how, smart you were in your business, they seem to think, well, I'm older than you, so you automatically get put down a couple notches, a couple steps based on experience. But actually, they had a lot less experience than I did. Because when they started doing their leasing and being a manager, they didn't have computer systems the way we do today. They didn't have credit check systems the way we do today. They didn't have communications and sales skills classes and courses like they do today. They just went through the hard stuff through the years of experience, and they thought they deserved that spot, which a lot of them did. But I would be working with girls or even women that were older than me looking for a higher position because they were older. And so I had a coworker, she was 43, I believe, and I was about 27. And she wanted to take the assistant manager position. And she felt, because she was older than me, that she had the first right to go towards it. And in the old days, that's probably how it was. But, so anyways, long story short, right? I talked to my fiance at the time, and I said, I think I want to get out of this position. It's very catty. I don't like the office. The girls are kind of rude. They're judgy. They're bitchy. I don't feel liked there. And that's how it always is. When you're a girl in an office, and there's a lot of other girls in the office, there's a lot of bitchiness, cattiness, and just bullshit, to be honest. And it makes working there an anxiety attack and seriously, a physically getting ill thing that you have to go suffer through every day, almost every day. And going to work was just a nauseous experience. And I had fun with the people that came in, my clients. I liked my desk. I liked my position. I liked going to work and touring properties. That was great. It was the boss I had to work under and the women I had to work with. So I was stressed, and I was just like, this is complete nonsense, and I really don't like being here. And I told my fiance I want to look for a different place. I want to see if they're going to transfer me to a different location because I just don't want to work with these girls. And that was the way of life for me. I just would transfer because I couldn't deal with the office staff. And usually, to be honest, the rudest of the office staff was the managers. So it was the assistant manager and the manager. They were usually the ones that would set the trend for the office. And they would come in like Queen of Sheba, late or with their coffee and just bitchy, like, get to work, do this, do that, and making you feel very, very helpful for their staff, but like you were an inconvenience. Be grateful for what you have. And I was just really stressed. I remember that the owners of a property came into town to tour the property they had just bought. It was a new build. There was about 600 apartments. And they asked to meet the staff. They were from Canada. They wanted to know about the property and the location and what it was going on. Well, they always come undercover, so you don't really know who the owners of the company are because they're going to get a tour. And so they train leasing consultants to tour, cookie cutter kind of way, to where you present the property all the same equally and in a very good way. And so they train you, and they always send undercover people to test you out and see that you are touring like you should, that you look the part, that you speak the part, that, you do it flawlessly and you're honest, because they will test you. So anyways, I ended up touring the owners, and they were thrilled with my tour. I went above and beyond because, as you guys know, even in tarot, it still fits the bill for me today. I always go above and beyond a normal anything. If it's a normal tarot reading, here I am, above and beyond. If it's a tour of a property, above and beyond. That's just what I do. It's my past life stuff, and you guys don't know my chart, but communication and sales and people are my thing. And that's what I did in a past life. So it's very easy for me. That's the comfort zone, right? And you can get stuck in those cycles. Long story short, again, I got to wrap it up. They really liked what I did, and they wanted me to do more. They wanted me to be kind of a bigger place in the company, to speak up for their company, to speak up for their properties, to kind of be a communicator between each other, between their clients, between each other, you know, the owners. There was multiple owners, and just be there in the communications area. But when my boss found that out, that they really liked me, they had invited me for lunch with the manager meeting. She was not happy about that. I got taken aside, and my boss, the manager, my boss told me, next time they call you, text you, ask you to do anything, you say no. It's not your place. It's not your position. And you're overstepping and you're overreaching. And they hired our company to work for them. They're not your boss. They're the owners of this facility, this building and everything, but they're not your boss. And we do have something called a human resources department in our company. And if you are, you know, conversating or communicating with the clients, you're going to be fired. It's not your position. And I'm the manager of this place. And if they want to communicate or learn anything about this place, they're going to do it through me. So even though she wasn't very good at that, and let's just say she just wasn't very good at that, that's what I had to get told. So she was a diva. And just to tell you, when she would come to work in our leasing office, she would show up in a really nice car. She was, I think, driving a Land Rover at the time, like a brand new Land Rover. And she would show up in like a bright red suit. Kind of reminded me of Cruella de Vil. She had red, like the red is my card, red nails, bright red suits, black and red and white suits. And she would have her briefcase, and she'd come in like she owned a multi-million-dollar company. And so it was really intimidating. And here I am, just little old me, you know, nothing like that. And I really believed, and I really felt I could never be in that position. Well, long story short, what do you think happened to your girl? I got into those positions, but I wasn't a bitch like that. What changed me was a mentor. I got a new boss. She ended up, karma, right? Karma. She ended up, I don't know, relocating somewhere else. And a new boss came in, and she was really nice and down to earth, and she was a very beautiful young lady. She wasn't in her mid-40s. She was, I think, 35 at the time, little older than me. She was very good at what she did, and she was kind. And she had taught me, your team is only as good as your leader. And if I'm going to lead this team, we're one. She really focused on teamwork. She really focused on making us feel like we were in it together. It wasn't just her energy alone, and we were just there as, you know, her go fetch girls or her easily replaceables. She made us feel important, because we are. And that is the sign of a good leader, making the team feel important, because we are the face of that company. No one sees the manager. She's in the back office all day. Who comes and sees that office, and whose faces do they see? They see the leasing agents. Who do they ask for help? Who do they ask for when something goes wrong? Who do they ask questions? Who do they see to pay their rent? It's the leasing consultants. So really, they are the face of the company hired for that building. She had value. And, you know, long story short, she inspired me because she was younger. She had what it took to do that position better than anyone, older and more bossy and rude than her. It was her attitude, and she did a wonderful job. We ended up being #1 in our area. as far as an up-and-coming resort-style apartments. And it was great. So anyways, I ended up having to transfer. She ended up leaving. It was some years, and she ended up leaving, and I didn't like the new company because they were switching things out, and they weren't going to keep the same people. I think they were hiring a new company. So even though we worked there, it could have been very weird. So I was looking for a new position within the company still, and my fiance was like, why don't you apply for that management position? And I said, I can't be a manager. It's like, why not? You're great at what you do. You're smart. You're good. You know the ropes. You've been doing this for years. I thought about it, and I was like, well, I'm not old enough, and I've never done it before. So I don't have a resume that says, hey, I've been a manager before. You should hire me. You know, I was like, I don't have the experience. And he's like, it doesn't matter. You didn't have leasing experience before when you got that job, and now you have the experience. He said, apply. You don't know what's going to happen. Guess what? I applied. Long story short, for the management position, my boss that was really good to me, the one I told you was just great, she was a referral for me. And she said, and I didn't even believe in myself. And I said, you know, hey, do you think I should apply for this position? She said, I think you would be great at that position. I think you would be great. I think you should apply. I'll put my name out there. I'll put myself out there for you. I'll refer you. And I was like, really? You believe in me like that? She's like, yes, you're killer. You're awesome. You could totally run your own team. It's a little bit more paperwork in the back, but you've got this. And you're already great at working with owners and working with higher ups. So yeah, I think you should do it. I was like shocked. I couldn't believe that people believed in me because I didn't even believe in me, I guess. And it wasn't that I didn't have confidence, because I did. I knew I was kind of the shit as far as leasing agents go. But when it comes to stepping up into a new area, into a higher position, right? That leap of faith into something you've never done before, you know? It scared me. That was a new arena. I hadn't had that position. I wasn't even sure I could do it. I was scared. I was fearful. But I took the leap of faith. I applied. And I immediately thought, you know what? I'm probably not going to get hired. There's no way. It's compared to all the women that are applying, all these older women that have experience and years under their belt with management, why would they hire me? You know what I didn't ask? Why the fuck would the universe open up a door for me? At that time, I didn't even think, could the universe do this? Could it be a possibility? Could my life be that important that the universe would take the time to give me an opportunity? Why? I mean, go figure. Guess what? That's what we get stuck into, guys. We believe that little old us, it just can't happen. But the major awakening is, yeah, the universe has the time. And yep, you're that important. And you bet your ass, amazing opportunities are gonna happen for you. And Spirit and the universe is gonna open a door for you, because you are that special. And you cannot be fearful. Jump. Take that leap of faith. Even if you think you're not worth it, even if you think you don't have the experience, even if you think you're just not worthy in whatever sense, take the leap, because that door is being opened specifically for you. And I think we as a people have to get into that place where we are that important. Because the world teaches you, society teaches you, you're not that important. But that's a lie. Oh, thank you. Oh. Valerie, thank you for the 1111 on Super Chat. Thank you, girl. Thank you. But you know, that's the web of lies. You believe it? Don't believe it. Don't believe it? Take that leap of faith. You are important so much, and those opportunities are special for you. They were created for you. The door opened for you. That person, that position, that move, that relationship, whatever it is, that business opportunity, it was opened for you. All you have to do is actually take a moment to believe it. Believe it. You're worthy. And I think that's kind of what I was dealing with, but a lot of people deal with also who are stuck in a cycle. It's worthiness. Okay, it's worthiness. And that is a really important lesson. And like I said, it's way easier said than actually done. Oh yeah, Steph, I write down worthiness every day. I hear, speakers talk about worthiness every day. I know about worthiness. You have to make love to that message. I know that sounds weird, but that's how I talk, people. Make love to that message. Spend time in it. Roll in it. Dive in it. Breathe it in. Knead it to death. You really have to make love with that message, worthiness, because it's not just a word. It's not just a little message. It's a way of living, breathing, feeling, and believing. It's not just a message. You can throw together a loaf of bread by kneading the dough and doing the instructions and plopping it in the oven and getting it out of the oven when it's time. Or you can spend time with each ingredient. Rub the salt between your fingers. Really feel the grainy salt. Get your hand in the flour and throw it in there like little speckles of stardust. Get that, dough and knead it and roll it with your hands instead of a roller, or the KitchenAid, you know what I'm talking about, the thing. I can't think of the word. Sorry, Mercury retrograde. Shit. I can't move on until I say it. Oh, mixer. You can throw it in the mixer and it can have that little dough kneader thing. Or you can put your love into it. You can put stardust into that silly loaf of bread because you're going to love it. You're going to knead it with your fingers. You're going to roll it till it's the perfect texture, till it feels perfect in your hands. And you're going to make it perfectly shaped and put in the oven and put little lines on it and just do special things to make it look beautiful. That's making love to something. That's putting your heart into something. So when you get a message from speakers, from videos, from little me or whoever, and they say something stupid like self-love, self-care, or worthiness, make love to it. I want you to really take that word for the day and go, what the fuck does that mean? Excuse my French, but yeah. So you really have to do that and believe in yourself and get that nasty, I'm not worth it shit out of your body. Get those feelings of can't happen to me out of your vocabulary. Okay, get it out of your head. Purge. Get whatever you need to do out of you that makes you feel like that's just not possible for you. So let's talk, let's move on. But that's the message of fear for me, is getting from a place of fear and taking that leap of faith. That's the most important step to getting out of a cycle, is worthiness. So if you're writing notes down and you're like, how do I quit these cycles? Step number 1, defeat fear. And then you can, in parentheses or hashtag whatever, you can put worthiness. Okay, worthiness. Defeat fear and work on worthiness, because that is key, and it is certainly number 1 to defeat any cycle. Guess what? I applied. I got the position, and I loved it, and I did well. I did really well. And had I not jumped, I would have never known I was capable. And believe me, before it happened, I really didn't think I was worthy enough. But once I got there, it was a lot easier than I even played it out to be. And I was thinking, God, all these bosses that I worked under, all these women that had such cattiness inside of them, wow, here I am thinking they had such an important position, so difficult, so hard, that only they could be hired to do it. And now that I'm doing it, it's fucking easy. And I was giving them so much glory, so much respect, so much honor, like on a pedestal, like, oh, here comes the boss. Oh my God, they're just so worthy, like so important. I'm like, I look back and I'm like, how stupid. It's just a position. It's just another fucking position. And I'm perfectly capable. I'm just as smart, just as intelligent, just as worthy, just as anything needed. I have it all. I have it all. I can't believe I ever set myself up thinking I didn't have it. And when you're actually there, you look back and say, that was really stupid of me. Why did I even think that? You know, same with buying a house. I used to drive around in neighborhoods and say, I can never have a house like that. I would have to have a triple income. I'd have to have excellent credit. I'd have to have whatever, and I could never live there. And then you step up and you live somewhere and you're like, wow, I just surpassed my own bullshit. I'm here. I'm living here. I love it. And when you're actually there, it's not that big of a deal. Guys, I came from a tiny apartment to a townhome, from a townhome to a home, an older home, you know, kind of run down, shared by others, in a so-so neighborhood, but it was a bigger home than I'd ever had, and I loved it, and it made me so happy. And then I got my own home, where I never thought possible. And I love it. But now that I moved in and things are painted and everything's so-so, and it's like, oh, this is the nicest I've ever had. This is the nicest. Now that I'm here, guess what? I could have more. And that's kind of, you have to take it in strides, guys, in steps. You go from little to more to more to more to much. And you can do it. Sometimes it just happens in baby steps. It does. Sometimes it happens all at once, though. But however it happens for you, if it all comes in like a flood or it happens in baby steps, just know that you're easing your way into newness. You're stepping out there, okay? So we're going to move on to this message from the universe. Ah! The universe works fast, much faster, when you're having fun. That is the biggest, most important part of manifestation, right? The universe works fast, and we think it's so slow. I'll never get that job. I'll never get that money. I'll never get this shit that I want. I always fucking ask. You know why it's taking so long? Because you're watching the fucking paint dry. You're watching the paint dry. Okay? And it's boring, and it's long, and it's drooled out, and it's just like, Jesus, are we ever going to get this manifestation, universe? Or are you just going to fuck with me the rest of my life? But the answer is no. The universe says, I'll give it to you when you actually have a smile on your face and you're having some fun. Now get your ass out of the house, go to the zoo, go to the park, go to the wine festival, go see that guy, go see that girl, do some shit in life, get crazy, okay? Have some fun, jump off the cliff, all right? And when I see you enjoying yourself, I'm going to go ahead and drop the package by. That's how the universe works. It's better and it's more fun when you're having fun. And that is true. When you're loving your job, you get the higher position. When you're loving your art, you sell more paintings. When work is fun and joyous and it's not a pain in the ass that you have to go to, you're loving it. People will come to me, oh, Steph, how could I love my fucking job? I'm a maid. I have to clean. Guys, news for you. I used to be a maid before all that other shit. I used to be a maid. So you don't like cleaning. You don't like cleaning toilets? Because I cleaned toilets. You don't like cleaning showers? Cleaned them. Laundry, mopping, sweeping. Yeah, I did that shit too for a long time. My grandpa was a janitor at the World Arena here in where I live, the Broadmoor. He was a janitor for schools, the deaf and blind school. The only school in the country for the deaf and blind, I believe. One of the only few, at least in the Midwest, I don't know. Big schools. Taking out trash, sweeping, mopping, cleaning toilets, not a fun job. But you know what? He loved the people he worked with. The teachers loved my grandpa. Oh, Ernie, you're here. Oh, it's so good to see you. They would bring him cakes and cookies. They would give him things. He was the little sunshine that would show up, and they were just so happy that he was there. Sometimes servicing others can be a joy. Giving people a smile, saying, have a good day, is a joy. I don't care if you're scrubbing floors, and I'm using that as an analogy. Your job isn't shit if you don't make it shit. My dad did plumbing. And we all know, oh, everyone thinks, oh, a plumber, all they do is do toilets. Yeah, he did some toilets. And there's some funny stories my dad said. If it was a knee-deep in shit job, you give it to the younger guy. He says, because I was the younger guy. I was 19 or 20 doing plumbing, and they would give me the knee-deep in shit job, and I hated it. But when he got older, he didn't have to do it. He loved his job. He wanted to get smart. He wanted to learn more about it. And he became a plumber and pipe fitter, which is a very exquisite position in the plumbing world. And it's working for corporations, companies, where you put in the actual plumbing. You do the blueprints. You do the drawings, and he was very artistic, so he would do the drawings and the blueprints of where the plumbing would need to go in the building, all those big buildings, courthouses, factories, hospitals. He would be there doing that. And so he went higher up before he died. He died at a very young age. He died at 40, but he did a lot with his life before the age of 40. He became a master plumber and pipe fitter. He could have owned his own plumbing business, a master plumber. He loved what he did, not because he liked being knee-deep in shit, which is one of the most fucked up positions in the world. He learned to see the beauty in plumbing. So I'm using my family that comes from people that were in service of others as examples. Because a lot of you guys have complaints. My job is this, my job is that. You're lucky you had a nice office job. I have to work in shit or whatever. Listen, I'm using the lowest of the low examples because they were actually real and they have good outcomes. So don't use I have a shitty life or a shitty job as an excuse. That's one of the reasons you're repeating patterns, because you have an excuse. Take it away, make something else out of it. Have fun, find something beautiful about what you do, even if it's making your coworkers smile. Find something beautiful about what you do and change it. So anyways, yeah, the universe works fast when you're having fun. If you want that new position in your career, you need to have fun. Okay, someone says, I have no job. I don't know if that's a choice or, you know, you have the unfortunate luck that you don't have a job right now. There's lots of places hiring. It just depends on the position maybe you want. Maybe you don't want to work at a fast food place. Maybe you don't want to work at a Goodwill. Maybe you don't want to work somewhere. But we can all have a job. We're blessed with that. It's just our choices, right? I don't think I want to work at this level, or I don't think I want to work here. Remember, you can always change your levels. I had another family member named Sharon, and she was working at a McDonald's. And she had a couple children, you know, single mom. She ended up moving up in the business. She ended up becoming a manager quickly. Within 2 years, she was a manager running a McDonald's. And then she ended up being a general manager for the area for the McDonald's. And then she ended up having enough money to buy a franchise of McDonald's, and she ended up marrying another higher up in McDonald's. And you know what? This two little McDonald's people live in Alaska and have like a huge cabin, which is like 7 bedrooms. They've got acreage. You know, it's beautiful. They fucking love it. They franchised a McDonald's in Alaska. So you can come from meek, humble beginnings, but the end is your story. You can change the end. But the universe works fast in manifesting your happy life when you're having fun. Kira, I saw that you lived in Haiti, and you don't have a job. My best advice, what I feel for you, is starting your own online business from your phone. Doing a YouTube, doing tarot, doing dream interpretation, doing spells, doing anything, if you're into that, starting your own online business. That is my recommendation for you if you don't have a job, and there's not very many there. Starting a spiritual business also, helping people with healing. People would be happy to pay for a healer. Doing tarot for people, helping them with advice in their lives, even if it starts out low prices, getting those clients, getting those people to come back. I think you could do something like that. Maybe even making food. There's a lot of businesses on Marketplace that cook, and people pay them for these pre-prepared meals. And you could say, I'll make a meal for your family for whatever price. And all they have to do is come pick it up. You know, there's ways that you can have fun and enjoy not having to work under someone, but creating some wealth for yourself. And please don't forget to manifest, Kira, on the full moon and on the new moon. Don't forget to put your seed of intention into the universe. You don't have to ask for a job. I've learned this through manifestation. Trust me. Just because you want money or income or financial needs met, you don't have to ask for a job. You ask for financial blessings. And the universe will provide an answer in whatever way it sees fit in your life. It could be a job. It could be winning of a lottery ticket. It could be the finding of a check. It could be the blessing by another person that just wants to bless you and help you with a home or a car or a relocating, whatever it is. You don't know what the universe has up their sleeve. So please, when you manifest and you put your seeds of intention, write it down on a paper, bless it with a candle. You guys know how to do all that, right? Most of you, I don't have to go there. You've been following me for years. You know how to manifest. Fold it up, put it into that seed of intention, plant it in a potted plant in your home if you don't have land, or go outside and bury it under the new moon or the full moon. Set your intentions. Thank the Mother Gaia, thank the earth for blessing you. And you'll find that peace. Kira, thanks, Steph. I'm working on something, just not sure exactly what. I left the U.S. to not be a rat in the rat race. Oh, exactly. I will see either a new job or a project soon, but I'll be my own boss. Hell yeah, Kira. And that's how we manifest our lives. See? It's going to be starting that way. It's going to be seeds. Okay. So anyways, that's the second card. So if you guys are taking notes on how to stop the cycle, number 1, overcoming fear and worthiness, okay, feeling worthy, okay, facing your fear. And second, number 2, enjoying your life, having fun, okay, hashtag love life. When you're loving life, whatever the hell you're doing, okay, whatever, the universe will manifest great big things in your life. But if you are stressed, if you're making goals, if you're making lists, and you're feeling like a failure, and you're feeling pressured, and you're feeling stressed to make deadlines, that's not going to happen. And I have one message to the Virgos especially, okay, or the Aquarians or the Pisces people. If you are making lists and you're stressing yourself out about deadlines, you are creating cortisol, you're becoming unhealthy, you're lowering your immune system, and you're stressing the fuck out. And I know you are. You are. And that is not enjoying life. If you want to manifest big things, stop making deadlines. Does anyone out there love deadlines at work? No. If you don't like deadlines at work, or you don't like deadlines, period, why are you creating deadlines in your own private life? You're only hurting yourself. You're stressing yourself out. I want you to start telling yourself it's going to happen when it's going to happen. That's it. It's easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, nice and easy. It's going to happen when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. That's it. That's all you have to say. And you go about your life, okay? You enjoy it. All right, so we're going to move on. That's number 2. Let's see what our number 3 is going to be. Spirit, where do you want to take me? Let's do the hidden truth. That's where Spirit wants to take me. First hidden truth is, I want you. Sometimes you want what you want, and that's it. The heart wants what the heart wants. That's part of a cycle. The other one is, I wish I had treated you better. Looking back at the past, feeling like it's you, that if you would have done something different, you could have done it better, so you want a second chance. A lot of you guys just want a second chance, and that's inherently inside of you. You're feeling it. Okay, it didn't work out with this person. I'm going to meet this other person, and I'm going to do it right. I'm going to not be this way, or I'm not going to do this in a specific sense. Whatever it is, you know, this is just an example. But you accidentally, unknowingly, brought in a bag of energy from your previous relationship to the new one by saying you're not going to do what you did with the other one before. And that seems like logical sense, and society will say, yes, think that, feel that, do that. No. I know. You're like, well, that doesn't make sense, Steph. You've already learned your lesson. You already know you're not going to do that shit. You already know you've grown. You've changed. You're not going to bring in old bags. You already know that. You don't have to say it. It doesn't have to be your mantra. It doesn't have to be a goal. It doesn't even have to be a thought or a thing. When you start a new relationship, that new relationship is new. And it's going to be whatever it's going to be. If you want to stop repeating old cycles, don't take the old energy from the old cycle into the new one. It has to be a fresh start. Okay? A little message about kids also, and this is one of the hardest I've had to learn as a parent. If your kid screws up, and they've been punished and they've gone through it and they said they won't do it again, even though every string in your body says they're going to do it again. They're going to fucking do it again. I know them. They have no impulse control. It's too easily offered to them. It's a temptation. They're going to fucking do it again. I can't trust them. Do you want to repeat the same pattern? Well, I didn't think that when they started it. I know, but the pattern is you had a lack of trust and a lack of belief. Sometimes if you want to break a pattern, you have to throw it all in there. You have to say, okay, new slate. A literal new slate. I trust you. I believe in you. I'm passing the torch. We went through a cycle. We went through a lesson. We went through a hardship. It sucked for both of us, but you and me are on a new page now, and let's not live there again. Let's not go back there again. Let's not live in the fear of the shadows of our past. Let's live in the newness of today and the sunshine and be free. Shackles gone, and let's see what happens. See, we have a tendency to be chained to what happened before because of our lessons. And we think, I have to take all these lessons with me, which you do, but they're already with you. They're already in you. You've already experienced them. The Akashic records, the karma, everything's been dealt. The knowledge is around you in your aura. You don't have to carry it with you. And there is a difference. And I think the world and society, when people talk, they confuse that. And maybe it's confusing in general. But once you've learned something, it sticks with you. You don't have to think about it again. You don't have to remind yourself. You don't have to have a sticky note on the fridge or in the mirror. You don't have to tell yourself every day. Okay? Once you've overcome something, that's it. It's done. We, as a culture and society and humans in our planet, have to just walk away and move on, brand new. We all have a problem doing that. It's the truth. So anyways, that's what I'm getting from this little pile here, is letting go of the past completely and not dragging it with us in a bag that feels kind of heavy. And it's like constant reminders, you know, throw out some examples here in relationships. You know, I'm not going to date a so-and-so person that does this again. I'm going to date someone that has whatever on your list. You're carrying the baggage with you. And now when you meet someone great, maybe they don't make the cut, maybe they don't make the list, or maybe you do get in a relationship, but you're constantly thinking about what you don't want instead of how happy you could be right now. It's like you're constantly judging and criticizing and check-marking boxes. Did he do this? Did she do that? Did they pass this test? Why are we talking about it and thinking about it? I want you to kiss them, hold their hand, and be happy. That's all. Because we unconsciously, okay, we're not doing it on purpose, take this little checklist with us, and we're constantly checking out what we don't want. And then we start reaping what we don't want. And we wonder, why am I getting what I don't fucking want? I had a checklist. I double-checked that shit. No, you carried a bag, a baggage bag of what you had in the past and what you don't want in this relationship. And guess what happened? You got it again. Because it doesn't matter if you're saying you don't want it or you want it. The universe doesn't really have a filter. It's just like, okay, well, you're on the brainwave of this shit, so here you go. Poof. It's like magic. Manifestation, here you go. It's there it is. There's the vibration. I want you to think about how your cells recreate. Do you know we shed our skin? Just like reptiles, basically, but slowly. But we shed our skin all the time. We're constantly losing skin. We're shedding ourselves. We're recreating, our cells are recreating skin. And we don't even notice it. But we just don't change. We should change as often as our skin is replaced on our body. I don't know if it's every 6 months or every year, our full skin is replaced with new skin. I don't remember the scientific description of the timing of all that shit, but I am here to tell you that it is replaced and it is new. And your cells can recreate. You can also heal your cells from wounds and cuts. You get bruised, you get banged up, you get damaged, your body gets damaged, and your body will recreate new cells to replace what's been damaged most times. So yes, Kira, our cells regenerate. But knowing that about our human selves, knowing that we're regenerators, have we ever thought that we regenerate our experiences? It is the same thing. As above, so below, as within us, so without, in front of us. We are recreating our environment. We are. A lot of us recreate our childhood. We recreate our old marriages. We recreate our experiences. We are just like the masters of the universe at recreating the same shit. We regurgitate. We are mimickers also. We see things that we want and we want to recreate it. Very rare do people just create individually. Those are those special divine people. The Beethovens, the Platos, okay? The Michelangelos, all right? The ones that stepped out of their fear and did something new for them. They were creators. You, and I'm sure you've heard it, but you are the creator of your universe. And you don't have to regurgitate or recreate some cookie cutter pattern. I mean, unless that's what you want, that's fine. Maybe there is a lifestyle that inspires you that you wish you could have. Create it. But the point is, don't start living your life with a checklist about what you don't want based on your past, okay? Yeah. Get what you want by being in the moment, being happy. The next one is, I want to be more than friends. I think the message there is I just want more. You always feel like you're in the friend zone, or you always feel like you have the lower position at work. You always feel like that position is not yours. And I think that's what it means by this friend zone. And it could be like relationship stuff. But in general, creating patterns, it's where I talked about with the fear thing earlier. It's like, that position's already filled. It's already filled. Somebody's already got the management position. Somebody's already got the wife or the husband position. Somebody's already got the boyfriend, girlfriend position. You know, somebody's already got the best mom of the year award. The position's not available for me. Even though you want more. You want more than the level that you're at. And that's okay. Keep wanting. But don't live in one of those 7 deadly sins of envy, jealousy. And I think that is step number 3 to stopping your pattern. And write that down. Don't live in envy. Don't covet what your neighbor has. Don't want what others have, because it's going to make you feel like you have less. It's going to make you feel like you're not enough. And it's going to feed that fear. And it's going to feed that worthiness. Every time you look at what you don't have and what you lack, it's just going to feed the beast inside. Don't feed it. Don't feed the beast. Do not covet. Do not envy what others have. Okay? I want you to live in the moment. Don't worry about what other people have. I would put that for number 3. Now, Steph, I like to drive through neighborhoods and I like to see big houses that I would like someday. Or Steph, I like to look through magazines and see hairstyles and styles that I would like for myself. Or Steph, I look at people, old couples, and I see them holding hands and I want that. I want that someday. That's different. That's not being jealous. That's not being envious. That's not worrying. Those are just happy moments where you say, I want that someday. And that's different. Wanting something because it's inspirational, wanting something because it looks tasty or good, wanting something because it makes you fulfilled in some way, window shopping, rather, is fine because it helps you manifest. It's like a vision board. That's good. Whatever picture makes you feel excited, if it's a house on a beach, you know, put it up there. It's not envying. It's not being jealous. Okay? But if you ever find yourself angry, sad, bitter, jealous, disappointed, or whatever those negative emotions are towards others, or if you ever look back at your past and it makes you mad at yourself, if I didn't fuck that up, we'd still be together. If I didn't do this one move, I could be happy with this person. If I would have stayed, you know, the coulda, shoulda, wouldas. If you ever catch yourself doing that, it's the same thing. It's being upset with what you don't have. So I think this step number 3 also is just don't look at the past with anger or remorse or sadness or guilt. And don't look at the future with emptiness or worry or lack, not knowing if you're ever going to have that. Don't look at other people around you that it's not in your moment, that they're experiencing bliss. If you ever catch yourself in a low vibe, change the low vibe to something happy. So I really think maybe that's the better message for number 3. To stop your cycle or pattern, don't low vibe. Okay? Don't low vibe. Hashtag be happy. All right? Don't low vibe, just be happy. Balance is key. Balance is key. It's okay to want things. It's not okay to covet things. It's okay to wish for things. It's not okay to feel like they're never going to happen for you. So don't low vibe, okay? That is step number 3 into repeating patterns and quitting them. Okay, we've got to quit them. All right, so the next message is going to be, let's do the true love oracles. Loyalty. Some of you guys are too loyal to people that you're going to repeat your patterns because that's your mom, that's your dad, that's your brother, that's your sister, that's your lover, that's your kids, that's whatever. I got to repeat this shit because I'm loyal. I'm loyal to my family. I'm loyal to what I do. Even if I have to work at the same factory my dad worked or live my life the same way that my grandparents lived, that's what I'm going to do because I have a sense of loyalty. The next one is going with the flow. Things change. Let's move with it. Let's move with the water. The river flows. We don't know where it goes, but those water droplets are constantly changing and flowing and experiencing new places and new things, new rocks, new surfaces, new animals, new trees. I love the river that's just constantly moving. Going with the flow is very satisfying. We have to learn to move with the curves that life throws at us. We have to learn to move with sometimes a crashing waterfall and a plummet that life throws us. And we have to embrace those cool pools of water that sit just for a moment. We're still moving through it, it's just slower. There's quicks and there's fast, there's slows, there's rest, there's movement, but the river's going with the flow. So yeah, we have to change with the tide, change with the flow. When life throws you a curveball, don't get stuck. Sometimes life throws you a curveball because your mom died suddenly from a heart attack or an aneurysm, and life stops. Sometimes your husband or wife gets in an accident and they're paralyzed. Sometimes you lose your job. Sometimes you win the lottery and it goes really quickly. Going with the flow is going to teach you how to deal with change and how to accept that new moment. So be adaptable, I think, is step number 4 to stopping the cycle. Okay? So you might want to write that down too. Number 4, be adaptable. Move with the change. I don't know, but I'm thinking of that Pocahontas cartoon song where the chief, her father, was like, steady as the beating drum. I don't know the whole song, but steady as the beating drum. I don't know, it's very soothing. It's like a heartbeat, it's comfort. And we like consistency, remember? We like certainty. Steady as the beating drum. But then Pocahontas sings this song and she's like, but I don't want to live like that. I want to be free. You know, I want to run with the river ever flowing, or whatever, you know. She doesn't want to be the beating drum. And she wants to go with the river. So I don't know what applies to you. Both of those messages are beautiful, but I think getting in a canoe and figuring out, should I go left, should I go right in the fork of the river, is fun and exciting. And whatever choice you choose, whoever you end up with, whatever you do as far as a career or your move, enjoy the ride. Enjoy that ride. Okay? So anyways, adapt. and go with the flow. Pretty simple for step number 4. Okay. Also, real quick though, step number 4, don't get stuck into a situation because of loyalty. That is probably a very big message for those of you that want to stay stuck in a position at a job or a marriage or whatever because you're loyal. Example, you never want to leave this career, this job, this position because you love your boss, you love your coworkers, and you are enjoying life there. But there's a door opening, going with the flow. There's an opportunity that's arisen. And it's going to give you a step up into a new great place. And you're going to run things. And instead of you taking that new position for your life, the door that's opened, you choose to stay behind for your boss, for your coworkers. That, my friends, is an issue with loyalty. That sometimes you'll miss those opportunities and you're not going with the flow because you're so loyal and so dug in and stuck that you won't even better yourself or better your position in life because of it. And that's very honorable. But are you living your life for that person, or are you living your life for you is the question. So question that loyalty, because I think you should be loyal to yourself. How many dogs are loyal to masters that beat them? A lot. These terrible masters can starve their dogs, beat their dogs, ignore their dogs, and their dog will still come and sit by them like this, as neglected as they are, and be loyal. And even when the gate's left open, they may wander, but they come back home because home is all they know. That abusive master is all they know. And because it's all they know, they'll come back. So there's a message there that just because something's all you know doesn't mean you should stay there. Don't be loyal to a fault. Be loyal to yourself. Always the best interest for you. Okay? All right, let's go on to number 5, part of this message, how to break our patterns. Let's do self-forgiveness. Remember we talked about the Fool card with fear, taking the leap of faith, jumping over that little cliff? This is a message from the Fool, and it's about control. Isn't that interesting, my fools? And it says, I forgive myself for mistaking that awareness of not knowing as a weakness. I forgive myself for mistaking the awareness of not knowing as a weakness. Okay, so what that means is sometimes you think because I'm new at something, because I'm naive, because I don't know this path, because I don't know all the answers, I must be weak. It's like starting a new position and you're being trained and you feel like you are less than that person because you're learning, because you don't know what they know. It does not make you less than them. Get that shit out of your head. You got that position. You're going to rock that position out. You're just downloading some information that you didn't know. You still have all the power tools in the bank here, ready to go once you get the information you need. So do not mistake your lack of awareness about this new situation in life as stupid, pathetic, less than, naive, young-minded, okay, or unworthy. Do not mistake you not knowing for weakness. You are not less than someone or less than whatever, because you don't know yet. That's the beauty of it, being the Fool. You don't know yet. But when you know, you're going to rock that shit out, okay? Like a boss. Yeah. So anyways, forgive yourself for thinking that not knowing all the answers in the effing world makes you weak. That's not true. That's so not true. Instead, choose to believe that it is through loving acknowledgement of what I do, not yet know that the deepest understanding can be found and integrated. Choose to believe that through loving acknowledgement of what I do not know yet, that at the deepest understanding can be found and integrated at the right time. Basically, choose to believe that you're going to love what you do and you're getting it and it's being downloaded. Love the process. So forgive yourself for not knowing enough and love yourself in the process. Okay? That's basically the message of this card in a nutshell. So step number 5, write this down. Forgive yourself for feeling that not knowing it all made you less than or weak, and instead choose to believe that you are downloading that information as we speak, and you're going to rock it out. You're going to kick its ass, okay? You write that down. Enjoy the moment. And also for step number 5, write, enjoy the process. Enjoy the process, okay? So that's step number 5. All right, let's move into number 6. Where am I being led for number 6? Okay, the Epiphany cards are calling out to me. Okay. Boom. These scars and wounds run deep, girl. They run deep. You guys have a lot of wounds, a lot of scars from your past. And some of them are super, super, super dug in there like a tick. They are dug in like a tick. These scars and these wounds of abuse, scars and wounds of manipulation, scars and wounds of people telling you you're not enough since you were young, engraved into you. So this message is for those of you that have deep, deep patterns. I'm talking ancestral chains, wounds in the family generations. How do you get rid of those? How do you break these ancestral chains? How do you break the patterns in your family? What are these curses, these family curses, these constant patterns that flow through your mom, your grandma, and you, or your granddad and your dad and you? Like, how do you break these patterns? Steph, what do we do when something like alcoholism affects our family? How do I break that chain? What do I do when abuse, psychological, physical, sexual, whatever it is in our family? How do I break that chain so it doesn't happen to my kids? How do I deal with being a battered woman, and my mom was a battered woman, and my grandma's a battered woman? I don't want my daughter to be a battered woman. How do I break these chains? It feels like a curse is on our family. How do I break this curse? Remember we got that message earlier today, shake it up? Let's see, we have more people than we did earlier today, so don't forget to watch the beginning. But if you missed the beginning, we got this card earlier. Excuse the dirty nails, you guys know I was doing gardening, but shake it up. Okay, shake it up. It's almost predictable. And I do want to spend a moment on these scars and wounds run deep. It's predictable because when a family curse, when something familial, and this is very south node of the moon, Ketu, check your charts, see where your ancestral roots come from, because I want you to remember just a little bit of astrology here. The south node of the moon in your birth charts will describe the energy of your family history, where you came from and your roots, okay? So if you are suffering in this arena, which a lot of people are, it is predictable that you and your kids and their kids are going to live the same life unless you change. And I talked about loyalty. You have to get up and separate yourself from these family members. And that may be the hardest thing. You may have to pick up and move 2,000 miles away. You may have to cut them off. You're going to have to change your lifestyle, not the way you grew up. You can't cook like your mama. You can't live like your mama. I know it's hard to unattach yourself from that, but that's what's being asked. Example, let's just use food. Food. because we don't want to go dark, you know, on this reading. But let's just say great-grandma, grandma, mom, and me, we all cook by, you know, frying our potatoes and eggs in bacon grease. It tastes better. That's how we do it, bacon grease. We use it for everything. We use lard. We use a lot of these things, and it tastes better. But our family history is heart attacks or cardiovascular disease or obesity. You know, great grandma used to make a great pot of spaghetti, and she always cooked her meat with the fat, and the fat would just give flavor to the sauce, to the gravy, you know, and we always cook that way, you know. But again, what do we have? Heart attacks, cardiovascular disease, obesity. How do you shake that up? Just examples. Well, you start cooking the same things but differently. Well, Steph, I don't want to change my great-great-grandma's recipe. I don't want to change the recipe. I don't want to change their cooking. I want to taste home cooking meals. I want to taste my grandma's cooking. Why don't you change it up? Shake it up a bit. Why don't you rinse out the meat and rinse out the fat and the grease? Still season the meat how she seasoned it. Still fry it up how she fried it up, but rinse out the fat. Well, how do I cook my eggs and our food without the bacon grease? Well, in those days, they didn't have a grocery store with healthier options, and they probably couldn't afford a lot of things. So they either used what they had or they didn't have it. And so if they could go to the store today, if your great-great-grandma could go to the store today and choose a healthier option, how do you think her recipes might have been different? You have to remember, in those days, you ate what was on the farm, you ate what was on the table. There wasn't stores like that. So they were very creative and resourceful. And bacon grease made a great oil. It made a great slippery surface, and it fried things without sticking. Nowadays, we have a lot of things that help things not stick, such as nonstick pans, okay, such as olive oil or avocado oil, canola oil. I don't know, just little things. You don't have to use a lot of product to make it happen. So let's choose healthier options, okay? Let's also have some bacon, but maybe we should, you know, cook the bacon in a different way, maybe an air fryer. Let the bacon grease fall away, still get that nice taste, that's still very good flavor, but it's not as bad. I'm not saying you can't have bad things, but I'm saying make it less than what it was. Shake things up a bit. Add some things to the recipe. Your great-great-grandma is not going to come down and kill you because you changed my recipe. They're going to look down at you and say, you know what? Look at my great-great-granddaughter. Or my great-great-grandson. Look at them changing up my recipe, adding on to it, making it different, making it new, freshening it up, making it better. I'm proud of them. They're carrying on my tradition with using the same meal, but they're changing it up, shaking it up a bit. And that's nice. That's really nice. Even when you inherit a home, I don't want to change any of the decor. I don't want to change any of the furniture, the paint, the flooring. I want to keep it the way it was generations ago. You know, I want to restore things. Restore things, but make it functional. You don't want to keep an old rickety floor just because it was your great-great-greats. Maybe that floor is not safe. Shake it up a bit. Get a brand new floor that looks similar, that is still in memory. Keep a piece of that wood and frame it in a shadow box and say, you know, this was the remnants of the old floor from great-great-great-grandma's house. You know, whatever, man. I'm just saying shake it up. You don't have to erase it. You don't have to deny your history. You don't have to keep it a secret. You just have to shake it up. You got to say, this is where we came from, but this is who we are now. And I hope our great-great-greats don't carry on the same tradition. I hope they change the tradition and keep parts of it alive, but I hope they freshen it up as it goes down through generations. And as far as, you know, toxicity, such as abuse, alcoholism, or whatever is in your deep, dark family history's past, You're going to have to forgive. You're going to have to work through that. I think part of breaking the family chains and the family curse starts with you, because you're the one that is mindful. You're the one that recognizes the issue. You're the one that realizes our family has a history here. So you are the one to break it. And there's some ceremonies you can go through. You can research which one works best for you, but there are ceremonial things you can do to break family curses, to break patterns. And a lot of it has to do with whatever touches you culturally. That's why I'm not giving examples, because we all have different cultures. So you all have something, there's ceremony in your culture that would work for you as a ceremony to help break those curses, those alcoholism and things. But you have to shake it up and change your lifestyle. Be active. If you come from a family of alcoholism, don't put yourself around a lot of drinking. Don't start hanging out with people that want to party and drink all the time. You have to have friends that are not into that. You know, you have to have people that are like, well, let's go hiking. Let's make a nice dinner. Let's have parcheesi parties. I don't fucking know. You know, or, you know, you got to break away. Don't put yourself in an environment where you're prone to getting down that same track. You have to shake it up a bit. One more thing I want to touch on. Coming from families of lack. This touches a lot of people. So if this resonates with you, please listen. If you come from a family of poverty, if you come from a family of very little means, to where you were afraid to ask for things because they didn't have it. If you come from a family that just didn't have even the necessities, you came from a family that maybe lacked security, safety. If you come from a family that was dependent on government assistance, and it was your mom and your grandma and your grandpa and even before them, like whatever. If you come from a family that depended on others, which is more nowadays than the old days, because even minorities did not have government assistance, you know, before the 60s. It just wasn't a thing. So everyone was independent. But if you're coming from a younger generation today, sometimes your parents and grandparents were dependent on the system. I have seen more and more struggles from families that come from poverty. And it's because all they know to teach the young ones is to be dependent. And a lot of times, it's mostly grandparents or mothers that will tell you, get on down to the DHS office, or go on down to Section 8, or go on down to this place and apply for assistance. You know, not everybody, but a lot of them, you know, their kids get pregnant at 16, 17, 18. They cannot provide for themselves. The other parent's not in the picture, and even if they were, they can't provide for themselves. So what do? They go get assistance. And so these people become dependent, like a bad habit, like a drug. I need government assistance to make it. There's no other way. There's no other life. I grew up on assistance. My mom couldn't take care of me without assistance. My grandma couldn't take care of my mom without assistance. I can't take care of mine without assistance. It's just an example for people that come from poverty. And even if you don't get government assistance, maybe your family says, don't ever get assistance. We're just going to starve, or we're just going to eat on very meager means, or we're just going to live in more poverty than getting assistance. We're just going to live really poor. If you come from a family history like that, then you maybe even unknowingly are carrying a pattern for your children and their children and their children of lack mentality. We don't have enough. We can't have enough. More is not for us. That's for the rich people. other people, other families across the globe or across the city, those people. If you ever grew up in a family where you heard those kind of people have whatever, or those kind of people only get that, you're immediately setting yourself apart. And it does become a cycle. And people that do come from poverty or a lack mentality family, they grow up having children that are raised in the same way. Be grateful for what you have. There's kids out there that would love to eat what you're eating right now. Be grateful for what you have. Don't ask for anything else. You're lucky you have the toy or the clothes on your back. You know, and it's not like they're trying to do a bad thing. They're trying to make it. They come from a family of neediness. They come from a family of lack. So they're not trying to hurt their children. They're not trying to stress them or make them feel bad or destroy their futures. But unknowingly, this brain conditioning, this emotional conditioning is teaching children as they grow, and like you may have been taught, to not ask the universe for more. And that does become an issue when you're an adult and for your children and so on. If you are raised in a family where you never ask for anything because you know you don't have enough, or you should be grateful for what you have, you stop asking the universe. And you also start treating the universe like a parent you don't want to bother. Thank you, Spirit, for everything you've given me. Thank you so much for everything I have. I'm so grateful. Thank you. I don't mean to bother you. I know you're busy. I know you have a lot of other people that have a lot more important things to worry about. But if you have the time, if you have the means, Spirit, could you help me get this job? Because I know if I have this job, I can do it all. I can take care of my family. So if you have a moment, Spirit, can you please just help me get this position? I really need it. I really need it. That kind of prayer, that kind of seeking out to the universe is lack mentality. And maybe you didn't realize that, but it's lack. Because you don't want to bother Spirit because you feel ungrateful. You feel like a brat. You feel spoiled. You feel disrespectful for even asking for anything. Because you grew up thinking, I can't ask mom and dad for something because they don't have it and it would be rude. I can't ask for anything more because I should be grateful for what I have. And the world that has more and the world that has all these nice things, that's not my world. Me, we have this. They, them have that. See the separation? It's division and it's separation. And we don't realize that. People that grew up in lack just don't realize that they are separating and segregating themselves from abundance, from financial blessing and gain. They don't realize they're separating themselves. And by those kinds of prayers or those kinds of thinkings and feelings, you are, in essence, telling the universe, don't give me anything more. Don't give me anything more. I just want to have what I have. And if you're happy with that, fine. Maybe you're living a good life. But if you're not living a good life, if you don't have enough to pay bills, if you don't have enough room in your home for your family, if you don't have enough food on the table to cook what you want, if you're not enjoying life because you're eating the same shit every day, if you're not enjoying life because you're living in a toxic neighborhood, if you're not happy with life because you're slaving away at a job that pays minimum wage and you're barely making it, if that's you, shake it up. You came from an energy of lack, and it is a familial curse. And if you're not careful, your kids are going to carry that lack as well, because they're going to be conditioned to believe that this is for you and the other stuff is for them. This is me and us, and that's them and they. and there will be a constant separation. And we have to stop that. We have to stop segregating ourselves, separating ourselves, dividing ourselves, because the universe is vast. So anyways, lesson number 6. Some of your scars and wounds run so deep, you don't even know they're there. They came inside you from the age of 2 or 1 and so on, and you didn't even know that it was a part of you. But it became a strong part of your foundation. And now I'm seeing this card, certainty, as foundation. That's a very important key to why things are happening the way they are. Your foundation. Check it. These scars and wounds run deep. A lot of people have taken themselves out of poverty, out of an area of town that's no good, out of being under the government system, out of being and thinking a certain way. This has everything to believe with your political views, your educational views, your financial views, your way of living. It all stems from the family tree. And ironically, there's the tree, family tree. So anyways, part of the step 6 is stepping away from the deep wounds from the family tree. You guys heard that? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It's true. But sometimes the apple falls from the tree on a hill and it rolls the fuck out of there. Okay? You should be the apple that falls and rolls your little ass down the hill, far away from that tree, and you start your own orchard. Okay? Get the hell out of there. Get away from lack and worry and not enough or abuse or alcoholism or toxicity. Get the fuck out of there. Shake it up and move on. Start your own orchard. You don't have to stay rooted in the same situation. You can break the family curse. You can break the family chain. Teach the young ones to dream. Teach the young ones to ask the universe by saying, not, please, I don't mean to bother you. If it's possible, could you do this tiny little thing for me so I can work hard for what I have? Fuck that. Pray like this. Universe, hear me now. Thank you so much for everything I have and breathe and see and experience. I am blessed. Thank you for my beautiful life and my blessings. They are abundant and vast and ever growing. Thank you. And I'm ready for more. Spirit, bring it on. Shower me with your glory. Show me your masterful world that you can paint for me. Show me. Show me the possibilities. Open endless doors for me. Show me new experiences. Give me vast financial freedom so I can experience the beauty of your art here on this world. I want to see your masterpiece. Give me all you can give me so that I may enjoy this life and swim in the glory that you have created by eating the fine foods, enjoying the far off distant places, the diversity, by seeing this world, by enjoying nature and Mother Earth, by meeting new people and touching their lives. Show me your greatness and bless me so that I can do it, so I can bless others. Spirit, bless me with the most abundance you could ever bless a human with, so that I may spread your glory across the world and give many inspiration and blessings and love and shower down your beautiful, golden, imaginative stardust. Show me the vastness of this universe. Show me the vastness of what I can be on this world. Show me what I can do. I'm open to receiving. Bring it to me. It is on the way and I am ready. I'm ready for more. That's how you go in manifesting. That's how you go in with a prayer. Do you see the difference between Spirit? I'm sorry if you don't have a moment to lose. If you have a little time, could you please hear my pitiful prayer and give me just a crumb I just need a little help on this little position for this work so I can work really hard. I'll work so hard for what I have, Spirit. If you have a moment, could you please give me this little thing? The universe is like, that's all you want? That's all you want? So you're going to ask me to bless you so you can stay needy, so you can stay in lack, so you can stay suffering, so you can stay not having fun, working in a place you hate, living a life you despise, suffering and growing old without happiness. You want me to bless you with this position so I can see the future and what's going to happen, and you're going to still suffer? And you don't have the courage to ask me for more? That's a shame. But you see the difference. You see the difference. Ask for much. And these scars and these wounds run deep for people. They really do. And they come from an energy where they don't know how to speak to the universe. They don't know how to manifest. They don't know how to ask. They don't even have it inside them to expect more because they've been conditioned to believe that all they've experienced is all that there is. And that's not true. Be born again, my friends. And I say that because I saw an image of two twins in the womb. It was a little meme. And they were like, do you think there's life after this? Do you think there's something more than the womb? Do you think there's something else out there? And the little baby said to the other little baby, yeah, I mean, I hear things. I hear sounds outside of our womb. I hear what's going on. There's got to be something else out there, but I can't see it. I can't feel it. I can't taste it. Nothing. I don't know. I don't know what's out there. And they're like, I wonder. I wonder. There is more. There is life after the womb. There is life after these ancient scars and wounds. There is more. But you have to be born again. You have to be rebirthed into a new vibration and a new energy and break your shackles and chains from your ancestors and your ancient curses. What if you say, oh, Steph, I have good history. I have good ancestors. I have good traditions. I have a good family history. Then don't worry about breaking that chain. Keep it going. Today, we're talking about breaking chains and karmic cycles that are toxic. Those are the ones you want to sever. Those are the ones you want to break. But if you have a good family history and tradition, keep it alive. Okay? All right, let's continue. What's calling my... Okay, so anyways, we were at number 5, correct? And funny because number 5 is what? Change. Challenge. The challenge is to change your family history and your family dynamic and your conditioning. The challenge is to change conditioning. 3 C's. Challenge, change, conditioning. We have the Epiphany card here. Let's turn this over. Rest and recovery before restart. When you do the 3 C's, and write this down for number 5, the 3 C's. When you do the 3 C's, change, challenge your conditioning, you can rest and recover for a new start. Okay? It's not going to be easy. It's going to wipe you out. You're going to cry. You're going to be emotional. You're going to feel worn out. You're going to have hard times. It's going to be a challenge. Hello. It's going to be a change. A challenge is a change to break that conditioning, but it's worth it. So just know that when you are ready to step into this head on, I'm going to face my family curse, my history head on, and I'm going to shake it up. Remember that once you've tackled that mission, you've done that ceremony, you've done that breaking of those chains, know that you do need rest. I need you to recharge your batteries. So go into nature or go into a safe place, relax, regroup, recharge your batteries, and, take some time, whether it's a year or so, in a new place to recover. And what if you can't move or go somewhere new? Well, it means stay away from them. If you're breaking a family curse or something, or you're breaking something that's deep, you have to shake it up by keeping your distance. Take bubble baths. Remember, shake it up. Take bubble baths. Sleep more. Read more books. Take more walks. Change your schedule. Change your habits. Okay? Changing your habits is going to be part of the number 5 also. So I guess number 5 is change, you know, change your habits, change your conditioning. It's a challenge. Okay. Change. Hashtag change. Don't do the same shit you've always done. Don't go to the same places you've always gone. Don't live in the same places you've always lived. And don't think the way you've always thought. Change it, change it, change it. All right. So now we're going to move on here to number 6. And I feel like pulling the tarots. First one is the Chariot in reverse. The next one is 8 of Cups in the upright. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn from Gone with the Wind. And the next one is Page of Pentacles, baby steps. Okay, it's a brand new start in a new direction. Grab it, hang on to it, start making those moves. Make those plans, learn along the way. Remember, you have to forgive yourself for not knowing what you need to know on this new mission. You're not supposed to know, moment by moment. Okay. So what I see here as a message is we're not going anywhere. This is we're not going anywhere. The Chariot in reverse. We're not moving. We are stuck in the mud. Our will is busted. We're not moving anywhere unless we walk away from the things that used to make us happy. 8 of Cups. You're never going to get change until you get uncomfortable and you leave a situation behind. You leave a relationship behind. You leave thought patterns behind. You leave emotions behind. One of the things that disturbs me when people want to change is a statement very simple. And a lot of you hear it and say it. But that's how I am. Or this is just who I am. It's just my makeup. It's my nature. It's how I am. No, that's an excuse. Who you are changes all the time. Don't give us the excuse. That's who I am. That's how I am. That's it. No, that's an excuse. You need to leave that behind because that's not true. That's a false statement. You are an ever-changing being. You may be of the same makeup, but you are a growing, changing being. That's bullshit. You don't want to meet an alcoholic and they say, well, sorry, that's just who I am. An alcoholic. Sorry, that's who I am. I'm just a drug addict. Can't change it. Sorry, that's who I am. I'm just an abuser. Or sorry, that's who I am. I'm just an abused person. Or sorry, this is who I am. I'm just an irritated, aggravated, mean, criticizing person. I guess I'm just a negative being. That's just who I am. You guys either love me for who I am or you don't. Deal with it. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Excuse, excuse, excuse. Because the truth is, you don't want to walk away from what you're comfortable in. You don't want to walk away from who you are because that's what you know. And we talked about the fear in step number 1. Please go to the earlier part of the video to see the steps. Step number 1 is conquer that fear. Be fearless. You're going into a new energy. You're going to be a new person, and that's strange. But you've got to do it, right? So walk away from whatever used to please you because it's not good anymore. And if you don't do that, you're not going to go anywhere. So I guess there has to be an emotional choice inside you. And the number 8 goes to the major arcana of the Strength card. Remember, this is a minor card, 8 of Cups. All the 8s refer to the Strength card. 8, major arcana, which means overcome thyself. It's where the Empress opens the lion's mouth in the Strength card, okay? And she is prying open the lion's mouth not by force, but by love. And she's choosing to look within the beast. She's also choosing to look beyond the beast's appearance and see the gentle heart inside the beast. Because the Leo, the lion, represents the heart. So she's looking into her heart. And that takes strength. And that is self-criticism, self-correction. okay? And it does take some reflecting. And so that 8 major arcana says you must go into thyself. Tame your own beast, the one that is prideful, the one that has ego, the one that has the 7 deadly sins, the one that suffers with that, the one that is stuck in this cycle. Know that there is a gentle soul, a teachable, lovable, changeable soul. And ironically, the number 8, what represents the infinity symbol, doing the same thing over and over again, will not get you a different result. So this is about strength, because it takes a lot of strength to change the cycle and tame the beast inside you, and to look at yourself and say, okay, this is the issue, I will tackle it with love. And then the next card here is the Page of Pentacles, which is baby steps. Grab a hold of this new beginning, this knowledge, this wisdom. I know my problems. I know my family history. I know what I need to fix. I know my cycles. I know that I end up with the same people over and over again, repeating my childhood, recreating my mom and dad's marriage, or recreating a past life, or recreating whatever. I see it. I know it. I have a hold of it now. And I don't know everything I need to know to tackle it, but I'm going to take one step at a time. You know, the Page of Pentacles is a step in the right direction, and it's a step in a new beginning, and it is a blessing. It's one step beyond the Ace. So first you have the seed, the Ace of Pentacles, which is a brand new beginning, but it has to be planted. Think of the Page of Pentacles as the planter, the farmer, the one that plants the seed and does the work. This is an action, and it's a message to you that once you have this knowledge and wisdom of cycles that you're aware of, now it needs action. What are you going to do with that knowledge and that wisdom? How are you going to shake it up, and how are you going to change it? Okay. So step number 6 for harmony and balance, right? The 6, you need to write down, in order to break these cycles, I have to walk away and take a step in a new direction. So you have to take action. Okay, that's how you're going to do it. It's not going to be planning it out on a planner, writing it on a board, sticking it in your office, putting it in your notes, in your journal, talking about it. It's not going to be about all of that. That's not a step in the right direction. A step in the right direction is going to be you taking action physically to make changes. Whether that's getting therapy from a psychologist, not just a counselor, someone that can help you work your problems out, talking about your past, taking action to heal yourself by going to a doctor or going to some specialist. And if you don't have physical needs or physical help or mental issues from your past, taking changes as far as exercise, okay, eating habits, changing things like that. This is all physical. It's physical and it's communication. So I do plead with you, if you have psychological damage from your history, you need to take steps by getting some help. You can't just work this out by yourself. You need to hire someone, or you need to pay someone to help you work through those issues, be it addiction, be it abuse, be it mental and psychological disorders because of abuse or something like that. You need to get help. So that is a step in the right direction. You can't just talk about it, be about it. My dad used to say that all the time. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the step in the right direction. Okay? And for everything else, you know, physical activity, moving somewhere, okay, picking up and packing your boxes and getting ready to get the hell out of wherever you've been, go. My kid's father never wanted to leave New York. And he did move and he went back, but he got stuck in the same family cycle. And it's not even a family cycle. You know, where he came from, people didn't live very long. I mean, especially if they were in gang activity or low-life activity. They just got hurt. They were in the hospital, in jail, or dead. They just didn't have much of a life. Why? Because of the cycles, because of the way people lived in that area. The way people live in that area is very ghetto. It is, you wake up, you do the same shit every day, you see the same people every day, you do the same stuff every weekend, and it's a cycle, and you get hurt or you get in jail. And for girls, it's you get pregnant and you get left by multiple people. Very rarely do you see happiness come out of the areas he came from. And what happened to him? Well, he was murdered in the same area he grew up in. What happened to his mom? She got hurt, damaged. Same area he grew up in. What happened to his dad? Same. And it's lack of fathers. And it seems to be a curse or a cycle where he came from. It was a curse or a cycle. And the best remedy for him was to get the fuck out of there. And he did. But he didn't want to stay gone. He wanted to be back in the cycle. So this has to mean you have to overcome your cycles. The number 8, because you're never going to get change unless you take the steps to change. Period. Don't go back to the abuser. Don't go back to which you came from. Don't go back to the abusive family. Don't go back to your old eating habits. Don't go back to being mistreated at a job you don't like. Don't go back to a relationship that doesn't value you. Don't go back. Don't go backwards, go forwards. And I think that is a lot of this message here also for number 6. Keep moving forward. Transformation Queen, I see the same pattern in Philadelphia where I grew up and I moved to South Carolina and I see the same pattern. That's a good message for some people, because you do take steps and you move out and you see the same pattern. I think it's about changing the people you're around, because sometimes you can find where I found where my ex grew up at, was pretty much the ghetto, okay? Bedford-Stuyvesant, to be exact, in Brooklyn, New York. Not a great area, all right? A lot of crime. And he moved to Colorado, which is beautiful, vast, lots of wilderness, lots of outdoor activities, lots of good people, good neighborhoods. And you got to move out of that. And when he came here, he went to the same kind of area. He gravitated like a magnet towards whatever tiny little ghettos we have in Colorado. Because I lived in New York and I've seen true ghetto. And the people here in Colorado really don't have that worry. We have a lot of beauty here and a lot of prosperity. There's not a lot of ghetto. But the people that make the ghettos ghetto, there is a couple places. A couple small places. And he would gravitate towards those places. We have a huge city. And he would gravitate towards the worst environment. Around the same kind of people. People that came from New York, just like him. People that came from other ghettos, LA, just like him. Okay, people that wanted to live their life the same way they lived in New York, just in a different state. Because they did not want to, 8 of Cups, break the pattern from that lifestyle. They wanted a new scenery. They wanted a new streets. They wanted new visions, new mountains, new land. But they wanted to bring the same people with them. He wanted to bring his best friend out here. He wanted his cousins to come out here. He wanted to contact people from where he was from out here. He didn't want to let go of Bed-Stuy. He didn't want to let go of Bed-Stuy. He wanted to bring Bed-Stuy here. And sometimes, whether it's subconscious or a conscious act, we can move to a new place and want to drag our bags with us into the new place, not knowing, but by gravitating towards the same people. And we have to pull ourselves out of that, It's like maybe you're a single mom and you wanted to get away from your family because they were in lack mentalities and they were struggling, and you wanted to move to a new place. Let's just say, I don't know, Tennessee or something, okay? And you wanted to have a nice place out in the country, and you wanted to meet families, and you wanted your kids to go to church and see nice things and have a farm. I don't know, some chickens, some horses, some goats, whatever. Maybe you wanted to live in, Waco, Texas, like what's her face from Magnolia Farms, whatever, You wanted that life. And you go out there to experience a new way of living, but you make friends who are like you. You meet friends that are single, lack mentality, struggling. And what do? They want to take you out. They want to, you're stuck in the same cycle. The only way to change is to put yourself apart from other people. Put yourself apart. Do not stay in that mentality. Guys, I had to change my lifestyle. I had friends that were a lot like my kid's father before he died, that I met him through my friends. And my friends, they were beautiful, and they were clubbers. They still are to this day. And I think they're too old, but that's just my opinion. But they were heavy drinkers. They wanted to go drink lots of drinks. They wanted to go to clubs. They wanted to wear revealing clothes. They wanted to dance on the stages. They wanted to get attention. They wanted to be the light of the party. Life was a big party for them every weekend. Wednesday night, ladies' night, Friday night, whatever night, Saturday night, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's Christmas Eve. Let's go to a Christmas Eve party, And it was fun when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, but, I don't want that life. And I thought once we all had kids, me and my girlfriends would grow up. We would grow up and not do those kinds of things. But my friends continued to do the same shit. And you wonder why they were single. And I'm single too. It's not that that's what makes you single, but they had a lot more relationships than me, and they didn't work out. Well, they didn't want to be at home. They didn't want to be with the family. They weren't ready for that change. And to this day, I'll see them post things. And I have a friend in particular, and she sings, and she was on that show, Making of the Band, with Puff Daddy. And she was on this other shows like Cowie and Teresa on MTV back in the day, Cowie and something. And she's my friend, and she suffers from a lot of issues, but she has a son who's a little older than mine. She's lost custody of him a couple times. Her mom pretty much raised him. Her sister had to step in. She's had a lot of problems raising her child. And she still goes out to clubs and sings karaoke. And she does not sing very well. I mean, that's just the fact of it. But she believes that's her dream, and she's fighting it. She's not willing to, 8 of Cups, walk away from her dream of being a singer. She saw herself as the next Mariah Carey. Well, now she's about 40. I think that day is past. And I think her son needs her. And I think she needs to step up, in life as, but that's just my opinion. I shouldn't be judging her. But the point is, I still have friends that think it's okay to just go to clubs Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever, and sing and drink and post things on their Facebook about, how beautiful they are, pictures. Meanwhile, their family's suffering. Okay, and I had to break away from friends like that a long time ago because I saw where that was heading. And now, 20 years later, that makes me feel old, but 20 years later, I see my friends, some of my very good friends, who are beautiful, sexy women, struggling in relationships. I have one friend that's beautiful, and she's got, how many kids? 5 children. She doesn't look a day over 21. Her body looks amazing. She used to be a Hawaiian Tropics model for the Hawaiian Tropic sunscreen lotion and oil, the Hawaiian Tropic stuff. Anyways, like I said, guys, my friends were beautiful. Some on MTV and BET, some models for, Hawaiian Tropics. I have beautiful friends. You can imagine. We got a lot of attention going to the clubs, I'll tell you that. They didn't want to let go of that lifestyle. And I just saw a post recently of her. She still looks great, but she admitted that she was suffering with alcoholism for the last 20 years. Hi, Just. Please put in the comments below the video your email address, and I'll contact you, love. But yeah, she suffered from alcoholism, and she now admits publicly on Facebook, I'm recovering. I'm, I think she said at the time, 60 days sober. And my point with that is, it doesn't matter your age, but if you want to break away from a cycle and change your life, you have to stop being loyal to your friends and to people that are toxic. Just because you're loyal does not mean your life is going to be blessed. Your life may be cursed because you're loyal. And just looking at my group of friends, only one, we had about 6 of us, only one made it out pretty good. And, well, me, I guess I'm included. But I separated from them, I think, when I was 25. I stopped really hanging out. But I had one friend that just separated about 6 years ago, a lot later than me. And she already had 2 failed relationships, one with her kid's father, and then she had a beautiful wedding and a really nice marriage. She bought her first house. Life was going good for her. That crumbled because there was a lot of going out, clubbing, and stuff like that. You can imagine. And then she met a nicer guy. And she decided to step away from that life and focus on parenting and focus on being a woman and knowing who she was and enjoying her marriage. And she now kind of has a Magnolia Farms kind of life. She kind of has a farm. She's got goats and chickens, a really nice house. She fixes and flips homes, kind of like that show Fixer Upper. That was her inspiration. She wanted to be like that. She wanted to have a family like that. And she got it. She manifested it. And we talked about this step earlier, part number 3. Manifesting is not being jealous or coveting, being angry or bitter, but being happy in the moment and just seeing goals. And that's what she did. She was happy in her relationship for a couple years, and she manifested this new life. And now she's financially well. She looks great. She's happy. She's got another child with that man, and she's got a beautiful business, and she gets to decorate, and she posts her homes that she's remodeled and what's for sale, and she's got a good life. And they still keep in touch with our old friends, but she's off like 2 hours away from where I'm at. And she's far, but she's in her own world. And I think that's what this card means also. Sometimes you have to break away and go in your own world. Because if you're surrounded by the same people, the same friends, the same places, nothing's going to change. It's a cycle. So anyways, this baby steps, and I hope my stories, as annoying as they probably were for you guys, are examples of baby steps or steps in the right direction out of your life to break your cycles. Because don't think that you're going to change on the inside, but your outside doesn't change. Because Spirit says the change has to come from both. You can't just change mentally and emotionally. You need to change physically. And for some people, you have to change your physical location. For whatever reason, that karmic vibration sticks to where you were at. And that's no good. Okay, so that was step number 6. And that is, like we said, just to reiterate, challenging yourself to walk away, leave a situation behind, and baby steps in the right direction. So hashtag baby steps. But the message is you need to leave. You need to leave behind the people, places, or things that kept you stuck in your cycle. Steph, keep it very brief, simple. I want to watch this video because I keep reliving the same relationships. What does that have to do with relationships? It means change something inside of you first that makes you want someone like that. Like the person you've been with. Maybe it's their hair color, their eye color, their job, their style of clothing. Maybe it's their family history, whatever. Whatever attracts you to that person, stop. Change it. Open your perspective from the inside. What core values are important to you? A big heart, someone that loves travel, So open up your horizons. They don't have to look a certain way. Don't go out in the world looking for a specific type. Change it if this is about relationships. Then I want you to pick up your bags and walk away. Move away from that person. Move across town. If you don't want to leave state, I understand. I have dreams of moving out of state and like seeing different states. I wish I could do that, but I don't have the balls. I'm too grounded in my family. My family, I know. I'm very close to my grandma, period, and I'll never leave. My dad and grandpa are buried here. Her house is very important to me. My grandpa made an altar back there in the backyard with Mother Mary. I can't leave. I'm not moving in Colorado, okay? But I might have a house somewhere where I can go visit, you know, in Florida or Hawaii or Mexico. I'm down with that, but I can't leave here. That's just how I feel. I just won't. But I also grew up on one part of town where all of us were from, and I had to move myself completely away from that part of town. So if you can't leave your state, leave your part of town. And Transformation Queen, I have a feeling that you grew up wherever you did and you stayed in a certain bracket of home value, and maybe you moved and you're still in the same kind of bracket. My advice for people is to get out of a bracket. Go somewhere where they make $50,000 more. Get away from those areas and move somewhere else. You know, or if you grew up in a very rich part of town and that's your clique, reverse that. Maybe go to a place that is not as well off. Maybe go to a more country place or a place that just doesn't have all those means. Maybe you're going to leave the big city for the country, or you're going to leave the city for the country. Did I say that right? You know what I mean. One or the other. Flip. Or if you leave an area of town that, you know, there's a certain amount of people that make a certain amount of money, that do the same things, they live in the same places, go to a different area. My point is, get out of your comfort zone. Out completely. Be the oddball out. I'm going to tell you guys something funny. And I told you some neighbors were bugging the fuck out of me. And I was like, God, I wish they would move. Well, guess what? You guys are never going to believe this. Transformation Queen, markers, I don't know if you remember, but do you guys remember when I was talking about I wish the neighbors would leave? He bugs me. And he doesn't take care of his yard. He's got a weird lawn chair in the front. Like he's bringing down the value. Don't wish someone would leave. Don't worry. I didn't do any spells. I didn't do anything to make him leave. But I really had it on my mind. You remember. Yeah, there you go. Marcus remembers. I really had it on my mind that I wanted him to go. Guess what? I regret that. I regret that wish. I regret it because he moved, by the way, recently, about 2 months ago. Okay, he moved. And I was like, oh, he moved. Maybe someone's going to make the house nice. Maybe this new person's going to come in and do some shit to this house for once. Bring our property values up. Fuck no. You know what I got? Oh, God, you don't want to know what I got, man. I got neighbors. And it was a slap in the face. I got neighbors from the ghetto. 3 families in one house. 3! I thought I had a lot, which is 2, my brother and I. No, 3. Fucking 3. They have like 20 cars, man. They're fucking taking up the whole street of parking. And all their cars are ghetto. They got broken windows, busted tires, low riders. This is ghetto as fuck. We don't live in that kind of a neighborhood, okay? Blasting music, like, I'm trying to work. I'm like, don't they know they're in a nice neighborhood and that's rude? What the fuck, man? My other neighbor didn't do that. And their fucking garage is like half open. They've got a mattress in there and some fucking shavings of bushes and shit. They can't park in there because they've got 3 fucking families in one house. So it looks like shit. They've got their hoopty cars out in the front, garage half open, drinking beers. There's like 5 of them now with still ghetto lawn chairs in the front. I'm talking like camping chairs on a porch in a nice neighborhood. It's ghetto. You guys can get the... I'm going to give you guys a little vision of my neighborhood. It's a covenanted property. It's a covenanted neighborhood. So everyone has to have their grass cut at a specific level. You have to have green grass somewhat. You have to, you know, you can't let it go to shit. It's not Renterville. Manicured lawns, you know, garage doors must be closed. Trash bins should be put away because it helps the property value. That's why you pay to come in a covenanted community. Kind of like if you go into like a townhome or a condo, they kind of have landscaping and stuff done. Well, these fuckers, I don't know if they read the contract because they're just, you know, doing whatever the fuck. Leaving the garage half open so I could see all their shit and their hoopties out there and just, you know, blasting me. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But my point is, I regret, Steph, you have a problem with the ghetto. I do, because I grew up in the ghetto and I married into the ghetto and I lived in the ghetto and I saw what it did. Drugs, abuse, alcoholism, lack mentality, poverty, lack of education. Yeah, I do. And I hope people can rebuild the ghettos and make it something more. And I pray to God that's going to happen. But I do have a problem with that mentality because it's a problem, you know? So they came and I was like, oh shit, this is what my manifestation got me. This is what my wish got me. Lord Jesus, if you hear me now, I regret my thoughts. I regret my feelings. Bring back my old neighbor. Just bring him back. Bring back that man, please. I thought I had a problem then, but no, I want that problem back. I'm using this as an example because sometimes you think you have it bad, but you really don't. And then you might wish for something else. And then you get it and it's worse than the fucking other one. Trust me, been there. So I'm trying to be nice and I'm just like, okay, you know, give them the benefit of the doubt. They're new. Maybe they don't understand the covenants. Maybe they don't understand the neighborhood they moved in, whatever. I got to talking to the neighbor and she was like, yeah, we came from, I don't want to give names, but she told me, yep, they came from the ghetto. I'm not telling you the names. It wasn't a ghetto place in town. It was a ghetto town outside of town that I know of very well because I had family that lived there. I don't want to give names, so I'm not going to do that. But let's just say I had family that grew up there, and I'm like, oh, shit, you're from there? Fucking A. You're in our neighborhood. And, you know, she was like, yeah, we wanted to move to a nice, quiet place. She was like, we have 3 households in our home. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot. I was like, you know, well, you know, maybe they'll, you know, get married and have their own home. And she's like, nope, my daughters don't move and move out on their own. My oldest daughter and her husband live with me. And my mom lives with me. And I'm there. And my other daughter who's unmarried is there. And another daughter who is unmarried is there. And I have my daughter's 2 kids that are also here. And my father comes to visit here on weekends. And my brother comes to stay here on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And my son-in-law's little brother comes here also. And I'm like, fuck, it's a lot of family. And then she tells me, yeah, you're going to see a lot of cars, We have a lot of family. It's been real quiet because of COVID. But, you know, once that settles down, you know, the neighborhood's going to know we're here. And I'm like, fudge monkey. Okay, so just so you know, we're the same culture, same skin color. I don't want to give names, but we are the same people, and I'm trying to be good to my people. It is Hispanic National Heritage Month. Okay? So, I'm trying to be chill with this. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, yes, you moved into a very nice neighborhood, and it is a really quiet street, and it is lovely, and I moved here from the ghetto also because I want to live a better life. Just like you. So I want to bring it up to her. Just like you, I want to live a better life. And it is quiet. And it is nice. And it's a great place to raise your family. I said, as long as the neighborhood stays that way, we'll all have a happy life. So she hopefully got my drift. And that's it. I didn't want to be rude and say anymore. But I just said, I hope our neighborhood stays nice. Because it's been really nice. So hopefully that's what happens. But I just wanted to give you guys an update on be careful what you wish for. You just might get it and you may not like it. I have new neighbors. I'm going to work with it. I'm going to see how this how this goes, because, you know, it's true what they say. Sometimes people move in and there goes the neighborhood. And it could be. But I'm sad because if I have to leave our beautiful home because I hate the neighbors across the street and it brings down the neighborhood completely and there's nowhere to park and there's just shit everywhere, then I'm going to move. And, you know, other people are moving. It's like they moved in and I saw 3 houses up for sale around. And, you know, they're new. They don't know what the fuck. And she told me, she was like, well, I wasn't really looking for a neighborhood. I wasn't really caring about a neighborhood I wanted to live in. We just really were looking for a certain type of house. So I said, you were looking for a certain type of house. She's like, yeah, we wanted a view and we wanted 4 bedrooms upstairs. Pretty much it. So I'm like, okay, so you're looking for a house with a view and 4 bedrooms upstairs. And there was nothing in the city but this? Maybe that's the truth. But she's going to have an awakening, because if neighbors start reporting her for not following the covenants, she may not realize that just because she liked the house, she moved into a neighborhood. And I don't think she was very careful about her picking on that, because the way the family lives, they want to live like they have 10 acres of land and they can park a lot of cars and work out in the garage and fix cars and all that from the front. And that's just not how this neighborhood works. So they're kind of the Beverly Hillbillies. Okay, they are the Beverly Hillbillies. That is our fucking house. And you know what? I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to make the most of it. And I'm going to be nice and I'm going to make them feel welcome. And I'm going to love on them and I'm going to be a good person and I'm not going to be a bitch anymore, because I know where that got me. And maybe as a neighbor, I'll mention a few things about how the neighborhood works, just so they feel like they're not a red thumb around here. So, you know, that's what I'm going to do. So as far as breaking cycles, trust me, I'm going to break my own cycle of being happy with what I have and not always wanting perfection. One of my cycles is I want perfection. I want to live in a perfect neighborhood. I want to have the perfect neighbors. I want to have the perfect kids. I want to have the perfect fucking decor. You know, and newsflash, Stephanie, life throws you curveballs. Every time you get somewhere and you think you won, you didn't. There's going to be a curveball. There's going to be a waterfall and all that shit. And that's why this part of this issue is so important. Going with the flow. Everything happens for a reason. And just because something throws a wrench in your plans does not mean you need to give up, pack up shop, and leave. It means you need to change the way you're seeing things. That's Cancer and Libra traits. Yeah, you're damn right, girl. Except I don't have Libra, but that is a damn Libra trait. It really is. So anyways, I too am in this boat. I mean, everyone has different cycles right now they're trying to break. Some of my cycles are body. I want to break cycles of my family. My family history doesn't have a lot of great health after a certain age, and I want to break that cycle in my family. So I'm going to be taking on a new health regimen for myself, which is a change. Eating habits and physical habits. I'm also breaking a cycle of poverty in my family and trying to step it up. I'm also breaking habits of wanting perfection in things. You know, I've got to stop that. I've got to be happy with what I have. So we're all in here breaking chains and breaking habits, okay? So don't feel bad if you have a few, you know, things going on with you, but that's something to look at. Okay, so let's move on with this reading. Let's read growth. Okay, so growth, this beautiful oak tree. And it says, every experience we have in life, from delightful to the terrible, can contribute to our overall enlightenment. Life is full of tests, both big and small, And whatever their results, we can always take something from them to help us learn about ourselves and the impact we have on others. Being open to these lessons increase emotional intelligence and our ability to analyze situations with clarity. It says, I embrace the lessons of life. Every day is an opportunity to improve. Now, you guys apply this message to your own life. I'm going to apply it to my example about my neighbor. Why did I attract another neighbor that I don't want? Because that's what your girl did. She attracted another neighbor I don't want. Okay? Instead of manifesting, I'm happy with what I have. I love my neighbors. This is a great neighborhood. I'm so happy to be here. Someone moved away and now, I've got something else to do. Spirit says this is a test. Deal with it. Make the most of it. Something beautiful can come from this. They're probably very nice people. Probably a big, wonderful, happy family. And I've got to be open. So I'm going to give you an update. After my initial response to them, I went to, I was talking to her. And she told me where she came from and her family and this and that. And that's how it first happened. We got to talking more. I learned she lost her sister and was raising her 2 niece and nephew twins because the sister died. So that's sad. Wasn't even her biological children. And then her daughter and son who are living with her probably struggling financially from a lack mentality, from family curse, from family history. They came from a small town, small ghetto town. They don't know better. This is their better. They're trying. And her daughters, and they all struggle with weight. There's a lot of depression in that home and a lot of lack. You know what I'm going to take from this? Spirit brings you a test, and this card said, you have an impact on people, and we can contribute to overall enlightenment. Yeah, it says here, we learn about ourselves and the impact we have on others. Maybe Spirit brought them to me to help. Lift them up. Maybe I'll be a good friend, a good neighbor, a good mentor. Maybe they'll want some of my services. Maybe I'll help mentor them through life. Who knows why Spirit brings you people? But he brings you them for a lesson. So even when you go down a fall, what you think is a fall, it might actually level you out, step you up, balance you, help teach you. They are my teachers. The imperfections I see with my block in this town and that neighborhood, that's something wrong with me, not something wrong with them. And we have to be able to inner reflect like that. With that strength card, looking in our hearts, doing personal reflection. What is it about me that is so bothered about this? Why am I letting that impact my inner happiness and peace? It's stupid, but that's what we do. We let things bother us because it's not perfect in our eyes. But there's going to be something bigger to this, and like I said, an update, I met them. One of them didn't even want to give me their name. He said it was too hard to pronounce. He said I can call him Sleepy. Just to give you an idea of my neighbors, guys. His name is Sleepy. And he's one of the 7 dwarfs, okay, from Snow White. He's sleepy. Anyways, that's what he wants to be called. And they said that they, obviously financially can't live on their own. They all have to huddle in together. So nice little family. There's probably a lot of pain in that family, but they were nice. Turns out he does plumbing, he does contracting, and he does mechanic work, and I could use all of those things. And I said, well, I would be happy to hire you for some jobs, and that's going to help him out for sure. And, they're trying to do their own business. I know a little something about business. My family does business marketing and stuff like that. And so you never know what I can bring to the table and what they can bring to the table. I told them it was a really nice neighborhood. I welcomed them. I said, welcome. I love your Halloween decorations. They already have it up. I also have Halloween decorations up. I'm a big Halloween fan, as most people know. And we had something in common. So, we bonded a little bit because we both love Halloween. She lost someone. I've lost lots of people. I may be able to make friends and mentor them. I'm going to look past my stupid judgments, my egotistical, arrogant, perfectionist asshole ways, which needs to go down the toilet. And they are my teacher. Sometimes your teachers are exactly who you don't want to be your teachers. Sometimes it is your ex. Sometimes it is your kid. In my case today, it's my neighbor, my teacher, okay? And I'm going to learn, and I'm going to take notes, and I'm going to change, and I'm going to grow, and I'm going to kick this lesson's ass. And I can promise you, I'm going to come out shining. I'm going to come out ahead, and something glorious, something major is going to happen in my life. See what happens to me in a year or 2 years. If by God's will, I'm still here. My life may dramatically change again. Major, you never know. But I have a feeling this is a baby step for me in a new direction that I don't know what I'm stepping into. I have no clue. I have no clue. But it's big and I feel the change. And I'm going to embrace my challenge, and I'm going to embrace this. And I'm going to be a difference. I'm going to be kinder, and I'm going to take off my criticizing glasses. I'm going to stop criticizing everything. I'm going to start looking inside and stop criticizing me too. And I'm just going to start being grateful and having fun and being kind, because that, my friends, begets more fun and kindness. And I know this, but didn't I tell you guys in the earlier video, easier said than done? And that is a fact, my friends. We can sit here all day and talk about facts and things we know. But when we actually live them and implement them, honey, that's the hard stuff. It is, and you all know it. Don't act like it's so easy. We all know it's not easy. It is so hard. And to actually live our lives with what we actually know and implement that inside of us, that's hard. But we can't just do it one day or 2 days. We have to do it and conquer it every day. Conquer those, 7 deadly sins. So things are gonna work out as long as we can go within ourselves and walk away from things that do not serve us in the highest way. Because ultimately, my goal as a soul is not to live in a nice neighborhood and raise kids and have a little, 40-year happier life for the rest of my, whatever years I have. That's not my soul's goal. My soul's goal on this planet is to be kind and to give love and to give enlightenment and to experience joy. That's my soul's goal. So fuck all this shit. My soul's like, this is petty. It may not seem petty to me in the physical body right now, but it's petty to my soul. So I have to also look at my higher lesson and always look up. Always look up to the higher lesson, the higher vibration. And whenever you catch yourself doing old patterns, criticizing, judging others or yourself, or doing stupid shit, look up and just go, what is my higher self trying to tell me? Anyways, we're going to move on. So we did number 6. We're going to be last. Oh, ironically, it's number 7. And 7s do represent endings. God created the earth in 6 days and rested on the 7th day. We have 7 days out of the week. All right. 7 does represent the ending of a cycle, which is a beautiful number for ending cycles, 7s. 7s are good, spiritually good. Numerologically, we all know the 9 is the ending. But spiritually, 7 has a very powerful energy of finishing something, accomplishing something, okay, success. Even psychologically, how we see 777 for a jackpot, right? Oh, look up, 77 people watching as I said that, and 78 likes. Is that not ironic? Come on now. Come on. You know, that's the universe right there, talking about sevens, and boom, there it is. And we are at this number 7 step to ending a cycle. Here we go. What is the card? Oh my God, we've been talking about this. Baby steps. Isn't that cool? We have literally discussed this several times in this reading. Number 5, also change and challenge our conditioning. There you go. There's the number 5. Let's read it. Where's my book? I just saw it before I got into all this. Oh, here it is. Okay. The last step, number 7, baby steps, okay? It says everything is baby powder fresh right now. It's new, it's exciting, and of course, you're not quite sure how it's going to work out. You're not even supposed to know. So it would ruin the surprise. But go ahead, take the first step. All great quests have got to begin somewhere. I love it. So, yeah, I mean, I guess kind of rounding up that number 6 energy is the number 7, baby steps. Today, you heard this message. It resonated with you. It touched you in some way. Hopefully, whatever I've said today has touched you in some way. And your job is to click off of this reading and take the first step in the right direction in this new area of your life where you are realizing you have patterns, where you have already decided you don't want those to carry on. And now as you hang up, you're going to start doing something different today. You're going to get away from this and you're going to change something in your life. So this is also telling you, don't take gigantic leaps forward. You might get hurt or disappoint yourself. When you leave your challenges, when you leave your cycles, don't expect yourself to change overnight. Don't expect your life to dramatically look different next week. This is all a process. Little baby steps, they're very unnoticeable. They're little steps every day in a different direction, and through time, you're going to see yourself in a whole different life. And someday, you're going to wake up and go, I didn't even realize that my life changed so much because it was gradual. Because I just eased into this new life like layers on a cake. And I just didn't realize that I was becoming this beautiful thing. It's not going to be dramatic. So don't set yourself up for, major changes immediately or next week or next month. Ease yourself into it. Start physical, meditation, yoga, stretches, running, jogging, eating habits, sleeping habits, cutting down screen time. Saying no to going out with specific friends or people, maybe just window shopping, looking at different areas to live, no rush, just, printing pictures, putting it on a vision board. Those are baby steps, Manifesting takes time sometimes, and Spirit says whatever you're getting out of, it's not going to just jump from hot water to cold water, okay? You're going to go with the flow here. And you are going to get away from this toxic cycle, whatever it's been for you. Just don't rush yourself and take it easy. All right, guys? So that has been your reading today. Hopefully it was pretty good for you. I'm going to end with a message from Spirit for your life, okay? Spirit, please guide and direct me with the secret language of light oracles. Can you give the audience here a message from you that touches their heart and can give them a message of peace, love, light, encouragement, or just wisdom? Okay. Bottom of the deck, the soul tree. Again, really touching in with that family tree, those family roots, right? But our soul has a tree. It's not just this reincarnation. It's not just this time frame. It's now, it's the past, it's forever in the future. We are all connected into this soul tree from start to finish from our Creator. Our Creator says, I know you came from your ancestors, but you came from me. The Creator is love. The Creator is light, source. And Spirit says, don't forget where you came from. Yes, you have a lineage and a history, but you also have a soul connection to the greatest energy in existence. Don't forget where you came from. You are creators. Woo, that was powerful. And I got goosebumps. It made me want to cry. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you so much for that message, reminding us where we came from and what we're a part of. Thank you so much. All right. And the card we reveal is, there is only light, my friends. I have no clue what this means till we read it, but that's beautiful. There is only light. I love the picture, meditation, right? Just sitting in peace and calm, and the light is coming from you, but it also connects to Spirit. I love it. The light is with you and in you and around you. For I am with you, I am in you, and I am around you. Don't forget the powerful word, I am. That's what's coming to me from this message. I am part of Source. I am light. I am love. I am a creator. There's so much, and so also what I'm getting from Spirit is, please go to I Am Affirmations on YouTube. That's a big step for you. For everybody that's breaking, Spirit says, go to YouTube. I have one favorite. You can pick, there's like hundreds of people. But my personal favorite and recommendation is You Are Creators. He's got a YouTube channel. So he has I Am Affirmations. He's my personal favorite, but whoever you vibe with, pick whoever you want. But when you search in YouTube, just put I Am Affirmations and you'll see the different channels and recommendations that pop up for you. But Spirit wants you to do that. That's going to be a step in the process of your healing. And I think that would be number 7. Put that in your notes, hashtag baby steps, hashtag or just parentheses, I Am Affirmations. Okay? So do that. Let's read this. Okay, first, journal work, okay? Draw or write a story you often tell that makes you feel sad, bad, or mad. Then ask yourself, who would you be without this story? If you didn't have the story of the abuse you experienced as a child, who would you be? If you didn't have abandonment, and that's part of your story, who would you be? If you didn't have the loss of your loved one, who would you be? Okay, then draw or write a new story that makes you feel glad, great, or at peace. I love it. So that's your journal work. Okay. Darkness is just an absence of light. Light is sought after and extraordinary. We all seek clarity of light, a lightness of being a light bulb moments. Light passes the analytical mind and takes us straight into loving wisdom. It is time for you to step into your shining light, to be illuminated. Let light in. Today is the day to release any disturbances in your energy. Happiness will come naturally, unless you do something to prevent it from happening. Release all that is stopping happiness from flowing into your world, and it will appear before you. It seems too easy, but it's truly that simple. It's a decision. And until you realize this, you can remain connected to the belief that struggle is required for success. That struggle is what makes you well. Perhaps more respected, it just seems like the best lesson-laden path. We must struggle to learn. We often take on the belief that if we struggle, others will think more of us, will have more faith in us, and will appreciate us more, knowing that we came from a difficulty. But when you go against your soul, you move away from your brightness. And the darkness is a sign that it's time to feel your way back into your heart and your soul. Some inspired reflections of this card is greet the sun each day. Breathe in the particles of sunlight into your chest and lighten the load of your heart. How many of us greet the sun every day? Maybe half of you, but there's some of us that don't. I want you to wake up every day and greet the sun. I know almost every person that studies anything metaphysical embraces the moon. And we go out and we greet the moon almost every night. Hello, moon. Beautiful moon. But I can guarantee you, so many of us do not greet the sun. It becomes forgotten, doesn't it? Hello, sun. Good morning, sun. Thank you, sun. That is something we take it, for granted. It is. And the sun represents our Father. And how many of us have taken for granted our Father? Not realizing what he's put himself through to provide for us, to protect us, to love us, to be strong and take the hits for us. And how many of you have an absence of a father and take for granted the sun and its warmth and its healing power to give you comfort in your loss? We should always greet the sun. So anyways, that's one. And then it says here, take deep breaths in and out and imagine your breath is filled with a kind of calm and peace. Each breath relaxes you more and more. I think when you inhale, be like the mother, the feminine energy, the prana. Inhale. Take in the negative thoughts, the darkness, the stress, the pain. Feel it, because that's what the mother does. She endures it. And release it, like the masculine energy. Inhale is the moon, exhale is the masculine. Take in that sun energy and give yourself positivity. Inhale the negative, exhale the positive. Inhale your pain, exhale the healing, right? Inhale the cycle, exhale the solution. That's how we process. And it says here, one last little bit of information for this card. Go through your clothes and shoes and let go of anything you have not worn for a few years and no longer gives you joy. That's a simple step. Just your clothes, It's just baby steps, right? You could go through your whole house and do it, sure. But let's start with baby steps. Go through your closet, go through your old clothes and your shoes, underwear, socks, everything. Just, what have you not worn? What's just sitting there? Stagnant. Get rid of it. Embrace you today. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching my channel. I hope you liked and subscribed. If you've listened to this reading all the way through, chances are you like my readings. So be a part of this channel. And don't forget, remember this journey is hard and trying, but the beauty is in the journey. The message, the lesson, the love, the happiness is in the journey, not the destination. Don't worry about where you need to get to, what you need to achieve, what you need to have, what you need to hold, your success. Don't worry about that. Worry about the journey. And remember, just keep swimming. All these hardships are just making you a strong swimmer. Just keep swimming, and I can promise you you're doing it right. You're doing it right. You're here, aren't you? You're growing, aren't you? You're learning, stretching. Yeah, you're doing it right. So don't worry about those destination points. I love you guys so much. If you're interested in anything I have to offer, please go to jks1111.com. Readings are currently on hold. I think there might be 2 available, but they're usually on hold till I catch up to the rest. I have a few emergencies I need to get to. Please forgive me. I have more viewers right now than I did in the beginning intro, where I did tell you I was sick for a couple days. I felt very low energy. Please forgive me for my absence, but I am catching up on some other readings. If it's a little delayed, don't you worry. Okay, if I've missed a reading from you, skipped you completely and it's been a while, please message me in the comments right below. And just say, hey, Steph, you missed my reading. This is my name or my email. Because if you say, hey, Steph, you missed my reading, contact me. Kind of hard to do that on your YouTube name because chances are that's not your government. That's not your ID, your driver's license, or your debit card. So I don't know how to contact you based on just that comment. You need to give me some other means to reach you. Okay, and if it's super private and you want me to delete it, just say, please delete this once you've read it so no one else has your information, such as your email or your legal name. Okay, and I will delete it. I'll check my messages periodically, at least every hour. Okay, so it won't be up there long. But that's the easiest way to message me. If you want to privately message me and email me, you're going to get in line. There's a lot of people that want to message me through email. It's very difficult, sometimes impossible. I just get too many emails. Gotten a lot of offers lately, a lot of scammers, a lot of junk mail, a lot of just bullshit and chit chat and ads and just a lot of people. And I love all of you. And there's probably some really good messages in there, but I try to avoid it. I went from getting 3,000 messages a week to like, 9,000 a week. Okay. That's a lot for me to go through. That would just take up days. I don't have that kind of time. So please try not to email me. I have in my emails, please don't email me back. Please don't communicate through email. It's too much for me. I can't keep checking it. I know KRS Astrology has the same message on his emails. Please don't communicate or contact me through email. Only for orders, only for, a response, like a delivery for an order, such as a tarot class, astrology class, or a receipt is what the emails are for. They're not for communication. They're not for asking me questions. When do you have time for a reading? How are you? This is my dream. Can you interpret it for me? I'd love to meet you. I'm in town. Or, chit chat. Or I've been trying to reach you for a couple days. Can't reach you. Trying to email you 100 times. Can't get a response. I have a notification that do not communicate with me through email. So I don't know why anyone's trying, but if you are trying to communicate with me through email, you're not going to win there because it's impossible. I'm giving you the notification right now. The best way to communicate with me is through the comments. And I say that almost every video, but I have a feeling the people that email me don't watch the whole video and don't watch me till the end. And I save most of my announcements for the end, so I don't bother you at the beginning of the reading. Okay? So again, the best way to even say anything to me and get a personal response from me is comments. And for now, that works. Now, if I get really popular and I have like 600 comments or 300 comments for one video in 2 hours, though, that's probably going to be too hard. But for now, I don't have that many. For now, I've got 21 comments, maybe 80, so I can still get to my comments at this time much easier than I do on my email, for whatever reason. So I'm just giving you a heads up. If you want to reach me and you don't want to be frustrated, please reach me through the comments. I love you guys so much. If anybody wants to donate to this channel and participate in cultivating our new culture here on JKS 1111, which is stimulating growth and inner work, and love and light, spreading that. If you want to contribute to this movement, please go to jks1111.com. A donation, whatever you want, or you can go to Cash App and donate anything. That's also actually a quick way to get me to call you back or email you. Is donating even $1 or something and saying, hey Steph, I need this, or hey Steph, call me, or here's my number, or hey Steph, can you email me? I had a reading and we missed the appointment, or Steph, can I have my astrology class emailed to me? Here's my email. If you donate, you can leave a message and I get to read it. And that's a lot easier than a lot of the other avenues. So also, if you want to reach me, that's always a good way. Or just the comments. But there's other ways to do it. So let's see. Natural Mystic stuff. I still need the cards that came with the first tarot class. Oh yeah. We had an update on that tarot class where I wasn't going to do the tarot cards because of the delivery issues. And I asked you guys to get the Rider-Waite-Smith. But if that is something you still want to do, I can still do that for you. Now, Mystic, I don't have your government name or your email, so put it in the comments, not in the chat, because for me to hang up this phone and then like go back to the chat, scroll and find your comments and go, oh, Mystic Goddess said she needed this and that. Okay, I'm going to contact her. That's not what I do, because I'd have to watch my own video like over again, and you know it's 190 minutes so far. So scrolling through the chat would be an issue. Again, the best way to reach out to me and give me a message is comments. Comments, comments, comments. And they're not in the chat. They're below the video. So if you guys could do that, I would be very grateful. Mystic, if you could go down there and put that in the comments, I can privately message you and get your contact info. But just to be honest about the tarot card situation, you're not the only one that needs those cards. There's several orders behind that are all waiting for that, and we are getting that together. So don't you worry, I've already got my list. I'll read off my list soon. I have my list of people I'm sending, and I just want to make sure everything's cool. If you guys want to update me, please email me and say tarot card orders in the subject of the email. Tarot card order. And please send me a receipt. The issue I've been having is double checking who got a refund and who didn't. Because during COVID, a lot of people got refunds. There was $2,000 worth of refunds, and it happened so fast. PayPal screwed me over and just took it out of my account for all of that. And I can't know who got the refund and who didn't. So now looking back on my order list that I have printed out, I don't want to send cards to people that got a refund. So I'm like, this is leaving me stuck. Now I'm stuck, and it's causing all you guys who've been waiting to be stuck too. Because now when I want to send it out, it's taking longer to double check if you got a refund or not. So I have been asking the new people here that are waiting, please send me your receipt and your order in my email with the subject tarot card orders. Because I want to go check the emails and see all the people that are waiting that have not had a refund. And I search my emails by tarot card orders or card orders. So if anything different is in the subject, like still waiting, or can you contact me, or trying to reach you, like whatever's in the subject, if I can't search it, I'm not going to find you. And your message will never be read. So I really need you to put that in the subject line so I can find you and double check. Okay? I'd appreciate that. Transformation Queen. Steph, Mystic is talking about the cards that came with the tarot class. Who brought the class in July 2020? Yes. Only 4 of us from the tarot class made the special. That's right. Thanks, girl. See, and she's reminding me of what happened. Because, girl, I make announcements, obviously 2020, and it's hard to remember. And you know what? You guys will believe it or not, I get taken advantage of. I've had people say they paid for a reading. They didn't. They just said that, and I like called them, and I thought it was genuine, but they never paid. Or people have contacted me and say, hey, I had an order of cards, and here's my address. And they didn't even ever, they were never a customer. So I've been taken advantage of a lot, and it's kind of hard. But mistakes happen, you know, and maybe they had me confused with another reader. I don't know. Could be. Yeah. Also, some weird situations have happened where I've had the same name. There was like several Dianas, and there was several, there was another name I can't think of. Anyways, there was a few duplicate names with different last names in the system. And so when I sent the reading, it got sent to the wrong person, which was kind of embarrassing, but that happened because they just gave me the first name basis and the email. And I don't know. I guess when you go back on orders, you look at names, and now I've had to be double checking names and email addresses because there's a lot of duplicates. So sometimes people get a reading that is not their reading sent to them, and it's not theirs per se. It's just the name. And I've had people that haven't received a reading because I sent their reading to someone else. And I'm like, oh God, this is an issue. So I'm trying to be a little bit more on top of that. Anyways, I just want to give you guys a heads up on what's going with that. So please keep me in the comments and keep me up posted with what's going on if you're waiting for anything. Kira, I wonder who you read for. Maybe it was theirs. Yeah, you never know how the universe works. It's just weird. But now in my readings, I should be saying the first and last name, because when I do a reading and I say Diana, you know, and I'm doing a reading and I send it to a Diana, but it's not that Diana, then somebody might be like, well, I'm single, not in a relationship. I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, oh shit, you know, it's the wrong reading. So it happens. Let me know if something like that happens. But if you haven't gotten a reading and I thought I sent it out to you, just shoot me a message in the comments, please, and say, hey, Steph, waiting on my reading, you know, this is my email or my name. And I'll double check it. And who knows? I mean, maybe that's one of those mistakes. I don't know. I don't have too many of them, you know, just a handful, but it happens. So anyways, I love you guys. Be well and take care of yourselves. And we'll do another reading here soon. Thank you so much for being here. And I love you so much. Thank you for being part of the channel. Thank you, moderators, for everything you've done. And helping people, answering questions, keeping people in line, helping me, hello, and yourselves. I'm so proud of all of you. Be well, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Just keep swimming.